Hello, and welcome to Dreamstate Discoveries, a place for quiet stories and calm wonders. Tonight, we set aside the bright lights and the noise of the surface world. We let our thoughts settle like silt drifting down through still water. We allow our breathing to slow, to match a gentler, more ancient rhythm. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to solve. Simply allow your mind to rest and your eyes to grow heavy as we wander through a landscape not of geography, but of generosity. A landscape shaped by one of the most familiar yet quietly remarkable figures of our digital age. Tonight, we explore the most relaxing facts about the YouTuber MrBeast. Not the spectacle, not the numbers, but the underlying patterns, the patient architecture of giving, the deep currents of consistency, and the gentle, vast scale of it all. Let these facts wash over you, not as news, but as a lullaby of human endeavor. A story of loops and cycles, of quiet routines behind the vibrant videos. A story designed not to excite, but to soothe, to help you drift into a soft and peaceful sleep. Let us begin not with a shout, but with a whisper about a name, MrBeast. A name so simple, almost childlike in its directness, and yet for millions it has become a symbol of something profoundly consistent. Say the name slowly in your mind, MrBeast. Let the sound of it soften, lose its edges. Think of it not as a persona, but as a concept of scale applied to kindness. The very existence of this concept, this channel, is a fact in itself, a fact that can calm the restless mind. For it tells us that in the vast churning ocean of the internet, a place so often filled with fleeting trends and sharp words, a constant presence emerged, a presence built not on turmoil, but on a predictable rhythm of creation. A new video every week, like a tide, reliable and steady. This consistency, this rhythmic pulse of content, is a deeply relaxing notion. In a world of chaos, here is a pattern, a loop that has repeated week after week, month after month, year after year. Think of that loop now, a cycle of ideation, filming, editing, and release, then beginning again, a gentle, endless orbit around the sun of a simple idea, to entertain and to give. There is peace in such a cycle, a monastic dedication to a routine, the quiet hum of a studio, the soft glow of editing screens in the dark, the patient stitching together of moments into a narrative. This is the unseen heartbeat of the channel, a steady, metronomic beat that has lulled an entire audience into a state of trusting expectation. You can almost hear that beat, a soft, distant thump, like a faraway drum, marking the peaceful passage of time. And from this rhythm emerges scale, a scale so vast it becomes abstract. A number like 200 million subscribers, it is a figure beyond true human comprehension. We cannot picture 200 million faces. We cannot hold the concept in our hands. So instead, we let it become a sea, a vast, calm sea of people. Each subscriber a single gentle wave in an endless ocean of viewership. This ocean stretches to the horizon of our imagination and beyond. To think of your own awareness, your own quiet watching,
as part of that immense, tranquil body, is to feel a sense of smallness, a peaceful smallness. You are not alone in your restfulness. You are drifting in a shared, quiet space with countless others, all drawn to the same steady light. The scale of the view counts, billions upon billions of views, becomes not a shout of triumph, but a whisper of collective attention, a slow, planetary breath in and out as people press play. This scale is not loud. It is the deep, resonant hum of a shared experience. It is the soft background noise of global connection. And in that noise, your own thoughts can settle. You are part of something too large to worry about, too immense to fully grasp. You can simply float in the peaceful understanding of being one wave in a gentle, boundless sea. Now let your mind drift to the very beginning, before the sea was vast, to a quiet room years ago, a teenager alone with a camera. The earliest videos, simple, almost silent experiments. This origin story is a calming thought. Every giant oak grows from a single quiet acorn. Every vast flowing river begins as a few hesitant drops of water from a spring. The MrBeast you know today, the phenomenon of scale, began in utter simplicity. A boy trying to figure things out. There is a deep comfort in beginnings. They remind us that everything complex has a simple core, that every epic journey starts with a single small step. Picture that quiet room, the soft click of the mouse recording, the patience of those early, unviewed hours. It is a lesson in slow growth, in the gentle, almost invisible accumulation of skill, of understanding. Nothing was rushed. It was a slow, steady drip, drip, drip of effort that over years would carve the canyon of a career. This is the way of nature, the way of coral reefs growing millimeter by millimeter in the deep. It is a patient process, a comforting process, for it tells us that great things are built not in frantic bursts, but in the consistent daily return to a craft, the patient repetition of showing up, of trying again. Let that image soothe you now, a single light in a dark room, a quiet beginning. The most peaceful part of any story is its start, full of potential, unhurried by the weight of what is to come. From this quiet start, let us contemplate a central calming pillar, the act of giving, the giveaways, the surprise deliveries of money, of cars, of houses. At first glance, this seems like excitement, but let us look deeper and find the stillness within it. See the act not as a transaction, but as a loop, a beautiful closed loop of energy. Money is earned from the attention of the vast calm sea of viewers, and then that money is poured back into the sea in concentrated drops of life-changing kindness. It is a cycle, a self-sustaining ecosystem of generosity. Think of a rainforest where water evaporates, forms clouds, and rains back down to nourish the very trees that released it. This is the ecosystem of MrBeast, a closed loop of abundance. There is profound peace in a closed loop. It means the system is in balance. The energy flows, it transforms, but it does not leak away into nothingness. It circulates. And in this circulation, there is a promise that kindness, when amplified on such a scale, begets more kindness. It creates stories that inspire others. The recipient of a car is not just given metal and engine. They are given time. They are given freedom from worry. They are given a story of hope to tell. That story ripples out, softer and softer, touching lives far beyond the initial splash. Imagine those ripples now, gentle circles on the surface of a still pond. One act of giving, creating wavelets of relief, of joy, of belief in good fortune, spreading out into the world, growing fainter and fainter, but never truly disappearing. This is how generosity becomes an ambient condition, a soft light that illumines from within. Let the thought of this endless, gentle cycle lull you, the taking in and the giving out, a breath of resources, in and out, a peaceful, perpetual rhythm. And what fuels this cycle? What is the energy source?
It is a concept so mundane, it becomes magical through sheer scale, the sponsorship, the brand deal. But see it not as an advertisement, but as a symbiosis, a peaceful mutual agreement between giant entities. The company provides the nutrients, the funding, and in return, it is allowed to exist, briefly, within the generous ecosystem. It is a form of modern-day patronage, a quiet handshake between corporations and creativity that allows the grand experiments in giving to continue. Think of the gentle, almost unnoticed way these sponsors are woven into the narrative. They become part of the fabric of the story, not an interruption. This seamless integration is a skill of such subtlety, it is like watching a master weaver at work. The loom clicks softly, the shuttle moves back and forth, and the thread of commerce is incorporated into the tapestry of entertainment without pulling it out of shape. There is a deep relaxation in witnessing mastery, in knowing that things are being handled with such skill that you, the viewer, need not be jarred. You can remain in your state of soft focus, observing the pattern form. The sponsorship is the invisible current that allows the great whale of content to swim effortlessly through the ocean. You do not see the current, but you feel its effect in the graceful, sustained movement. It is a hidden force of support, a quiet enabler, and in that there is a lesson. Even the most spectacular acts of giving rest upon a foundation of simple, practical agreements. The mundane supporting the miraculous, the quiet contract enabling the loud celebration. This is the way of the world, a peaceful interdependence. Now, let your mind wander to the sets, the locations, the empty warehouses transformed into elaborate game worlds, the quiet islands waiting for contestants. These are blank canvases, filled not with paint, but with potential. There is a profound stillness in an empty space before it is used. A warehouse is just a shell of concrete and steel, echoing with silence. Then the gentle invasion begins. The soft padding of feet as crews move in, the quiet discussions over blueprints, the slow construction of worlds that will exist for only a few days. This is performance art on a monumental scale, but its birth is in quiet preparation. Think of the care taken, the measuring, the building, the testing. It is a ritual of creation. Each screw turned, each piece of foam padding placed, each coat of bright paint applied is an act of patient focus. For the people building these temporary worlds, there is no audience yet. There is only the task at hand, the simple, meditative action of creating something from nothing. This process is far removed from the final frenetic video. It exists in a bubble of concentrated calm, a sanctuary of preparation. You can imagine the soft buzz of fluorescent lights in a vast empty hall, the scent of sawdust hanging in the air, the
the satisfaction of a problem solved quietly with a pencil and paper. This is the hidden, serene underbelly of spectacle, the deep, quiet breath held before the plunge. And there is immense peace in that breath, in the anticipation that is calm, not anxious, in the knowledge that everything is being prepared with great care just for you. Consider, too, the participants, the people plucked from their ordinary lives to stand in front of a camera, to play a game for life-changing stakes. But in the moments before, in the green room, in the nervous smiles, in the deep breaths they take, they are simply people. They have morning routines. They drink coffee from their favorite mugs. They worry about mundane things. And then, for a day, they step into another reality. This transition is a gentle kind of magic. It is a testament to the fact that extraordinary moments are waiting, latent, inside ordinary lives. Every person you pass on the street carries within them the potential to be the star of a strange and wonderful story. This thought softens the world. It makes the line between the mundane and the magical seem thin and permeable, like a veil. The people in the videos are not distant celebrities. They are visitors from the land of the ordinary who got to take a holiday in the land of the extraordinary, and they will return, changed, but fundamentally themselves. This cycle, ordinary, extraordinary, ordinary again, is a gentle wave. It lifts them up and sets them back down softly. Their lives become stories we can watch, but their humanity remains, a constant, calming truth beneath the glitter of the game. They are like deep-sea creatures brought briefly to the surface, glowing with bioluminescent surprise, before descending back into the comforting, familiar pressure of their daily lives. And we, watching, get to witness that gentle glow, a reminder that light exists in the depths of every ordinary existence. Let us think about the editing. The millions of hours of raw footage, chaotic and sprawling, that must be shaped into a coherent, engaging narrative. This is an act of immense patience. It is the search for pattern in chaos. The editor sits in a dim room, the soft light of the screen playing across their face. They scroll, they cut, they trim. They listen to the same moments again and again until the words lose their meaning and become mere sounds, rhythms to be spliced and joined. This work is deeply methodical. It is a craft of subtle decisions. A few frames cut here can change the pace. A piece of music layered underneath can change the emotion. It is like sculpting with time itself. The editor takes the rough, formless stone of recorded experience and chips away, gently, patiently, until the form within is revealed. The narrative was always there, hidden in the raw mass. The editor's job is to find it, to set it free. This process is invisible to the viewer. We see only the smooth, final flow, but knowing it exists is a comfort. It means that behind every thrilling sequence, there was a quiet room, a focused mind, and the gentle click-clack of a keyboard, stitching reality into story. It is a reminder that our own lives, with all their chaotic, raw footage, could also be edited into a meaningful narrative, that there is a shape, a rhythm to be found in our days, if we only look with patient eyes. The editor's calm, searching gaze is a metaphor for a peaceful mind, finding order in the beautiful disorder of living. And then there is the phenomenon of repetition, the counting videos, counting to 100,000, saying Logan Paul for 100,000 hours. These endeavors are monuments to monotony. They are meditative practices captured on video. To watch them is to witness a mind confronting the infinite through the tiny, repetitive door of a single action. There is an ancient spiritual quality to this. It is like the chanting of a mantra.
the gentle, rhythmic repetition of a sound or an action to clear the mind of all other thought. The person performing the task enters a trance state, a state of pure presence. There is no past, no future, only the next number, the next utterance, a gentle drumbeat marking the passage of time. For the viewer, it induces a similar calm. It is a permission slip to stop thinking, to simply observe a process unfold, a process with a clear beginning, a vast, sprawling middle, and a distant, almost mythical end. It is the video equivalent of watching waves crash on a shore. Each wave is similar, but not the same. Each number is a step on an endless path. The goal is not to arrive, for the arrival is almost irrelevant. The peace is in the journey, in the surrender to the repetitive task. Let this idea wash over you now. The peace of a simple, single action repeated until it becomes the whole world. Your own breathing is such a repetition, in and out, accounting to infinity, one breath at a time. The videos are just external mirrors of this internal, lifelong rhythm. We have spoken of scale, of loops, of repetition. Now let us ponder a softer element, the loyalty, the crew, the close friends who have been there since the early, quiet days. This is not a corporation in the cold sense. It is a family, a ship with a trusted crew sailing the same vast ocean for years. There is a deep human comfort in this stability, in knowing that the faces behind the camera are the same familiar faces, video after video. They have their own quiet in-jokes, their own shared history. They have grown up together, not just in age, but in experience. They have built this world, brick by digital brick, as a team. This creates an atmosphere, even through the screen, of trust, of shared purpose. It is the opposite of a chaotic, turnover-plagued workplace. It is an ecosystem of mutual support. When you watch, you are not just watching a star, you are watching a constellation, a fixed pattern of relationships shining together. The comfort of a constellation is that it is always there in the same configuration. You can look up at the night sky and find Orion, his belt steady and sure. The MrBeast crew is such a constellation in the digital sky. Their predictable presence is a sanker, a point of familiarity in the shifting currents of online content. This loyalty is a quiet fact, but a profoundly soothing one. It speaks of commitment not just to an idea, but to people, to the gentle, enduring strength of friendship, amplified on a global scale. Now, drift to the environmental projects, #TeamTrees, #TeamSeas. These are endeavors of a different scale altogether. They tap into a deeper planetary rhythm. The planting of a tree is one of the most hopeful, patient acts a human can undertake. You place a small, fragile sapling into the earth. You give it water, and then you wait. You trust in the slow, unstoppable processes of biology, the gentle pull of the sun, the quiet uptake of water through roots, the imperceptible splitting of cells. A tree grows in silence. It is a monument to slow time. To plant 20 million trees is to make a collective promise to the future, a promise that will be fulfilled over decades, centuries, long after the planters are gone. This is generosity stretched across time. It is a gift to people not yet born, to a climate not yet stabilized. There is a profound, almost spiritual peace in this kind of action. It is the antithesis of anxiety. It is slow, deliberate, and its effects are vast but gradual, like the gentle global breathing of the planet itself. The ocean's cleanup, similarly, is a task of immense patience, scooping plastic from the vast rolling sea. Each piece removed is a tiny victory in a war of attrition, but the act of removal itself is a statement of care, a gentle hand reaching into the chaotic flotsam and jetsam of human carelessness and introducing order, cleanliness. These projects connect the digital world to the ancient physical world in the most direct way. They are a bridge. They say that the attention gathered in the realm of pixels and data can be converted into tangible, living, growing good in the realm of soil and water. This is a deeply comforting conversion. It means our time spent watching is not lost. It can be composted, transformed into leaves, into cleaner waves, into a deeper breath for the earth. Let that thought settle in you now. Your view, a single drop of attention, joining a vast river that waters a forest of the future, a forest that will grow in quiet, leafy silence. Consider the sheer logistics, the purchasing of 100 cars, the securing of an island, the coordination of 1,000 contestants. This is not chaos. This is a symphony of planning, a symphony conducted in spreadsheets, phone calls, and scheduling apps. Imagine the to-do lists, pages and pages of tasks, each one checked off with a quiet sense of satisfaction. The renting of porta potties for a massive event, the ordering enough food to feed a small town, the hiring of security, of medical personnel. This is the architecture of the extraordinary, built with the bricks of the mundane. There is a strange beauty in this, in knowing that a moment of apparent spontaneous madness rests upon a profound, boring order. It is like a magnificent fireworks display. The burst of color and light in the sky is breathtaking, but it was made possible by careful chemists in labs, by factory workers packing shells, by safety inspectors checking launch tubes. The wow moment is the final, fleeting expression of a long, quiet chain of preparation. This is true for anything of scale, and there is peace in recognizing that chain. It means the world, even at its most spectacular, is knowable. It is built piece by people doing their jobs, checking their lists, solving small problems. Your own life is built this way. Small, manageable tasks, checked off one by one, leading to a larger, peaceful whole. Let the image of a completed checklist soothe you. Each check mark a small sigh of accomplishment. 100 check marks, 1,000, creating the conditions for magic to happen, almost as a side effect of good, calm order. Let us reflect on the lack of cynicism. In a world often dominated by irony, by snark, by a defensive posture of not caring, MrBeast presents something startlingly straightforward: earnestness, a pure, unfiltered desire to do big, cool, generous things. This is not naivete, it is a choice to engage with the world from a place of why not rather than why. This earnestness is a calming force. It is like a clear, sunlit day after a period of gloomy overcast. It simplifies the emotional landscape. When you watch, you are not asked to deconstruct, to critique, to look for the hidden angle. You are invited to simply experience the spectacle of goodwill, to share in the genuine surprise and joy of the participants. This is a gentle vacation for the mind, a respite from the constant analysis, the searching for subtext. The subtext is the text. It is about giving and the fun of giving. This purity of intention creates a bubble of positive emotion, a bubble you can step into, and for 10 or 20 minutes, your own worries are held at bay, replaced by the simple, warm glow of witnessing happiness being delivered. It is a form of emotional cleansing, a reminder that not everything needs to be complicated, that joy can be simple, direct, and massive. Allow that simple, direct warmth to fill your mind now, a soft, golden light of earnest endeavor, no shadows of doubt, just the clear, clean line of an idea followed to its spectacular conclusion. Think of the sound design, the satisfying cha-ching of a cash register, the deep, resonant thud of something heavy being presented, the crisp, clean sounds of money being counted. These are auditory triggers of satisfaction.
They are not harsh or jarring. They are rich, full, complete sounds. They provide a sonic punctuation to moments of transition. The moment before is ordinary. The cha-ching sounds, and the moment after is extraordinary. This sound design is a gentle guide for your emotions. It tells you in a visceral way that something good has happened, that a threshold has been crossed. Your brain receives this signal and releases a small, quiet dose of pleasure, a miniature celebration in your neurochemistry. The repetition of these sounds across countless videos creates a Pavlovian calm. You hear the cha-ching, and your body begins to relax into the expectation of a positive outcome. It is a lullaby of abundance, a sonic cue that the world in this particular narrative is a place where effort is rewarded, where surprises are benevolent, where the universe is generous. Let that thought echo softly in your imagination now, not loud, but distant, a gentle cha-ching from a faraway room, a signal that all is well, that the accounts are in balance, that goodness is being tallied, and the sum is always increasing. Now, contemplate the concept of last to leave, the challenges where people stand on a podium or keep their hand on a car for hours, days, testing the limits of their endurance. These are slow-motion dramas. They are not about speed or agility, but about stillness, about the ability to remain, to outweight everyone else. The drama is internal. It is a battle against boredom, against discomfort, against the whispering voice that suggests quitting. To watch such a challenge is to witness the human spirit in a state of patient defiance. It is profoundly still. The camera might cut away to other things, but we know in the back of our minds that those people are still there, standing, waiting. Their world has shrunk to a tiny circle of experience, the feel of the podium under their feet, the growing ache in their muscles, the passage of the sun across the sky. This reduction of life to a single simple goal to remain is a form of meditation. It is a stripping away of all complexity. All that matters is the present moment and the will to endure it, and then the next moment and the next. This is a powerful metaphor for sleep itself. To fall asleep is to decide finally to leave the challenge of wakefulness, to let go of the need to remain conscious. The contestants are holding on, but you, dear listener, can let go. You can release your hand from the car. You can step down from the podium. You have outlasted the day, and now the gentle prize of rest is yours. The endurance challenge
is a mirror that shows us the peace of surrender, of allowing yourself to be the one who leaves into the soft, waiting arms of sleep. Consider the global nature of it all. The fact that someone in a small village in India, a bustling city in Brazil, a quiet town in Norway, and a suburban home in the United States are all, at this very moment, perhaps watching the same video, laughing at the same moment, feeling the same swell of happiness for a stranger. This is a shared consciousness, a global moment of aligned attention. But unlike a news event which aligns us in anxiety, this aligns us in wonder, in curiosity, in shared joy. It is a gentle unification. For a few minutes, the artificial borders on maps fade. The differences in language, custom, and creed are bridged by the universal language of a surprising act of kindness or the thrilling tension of a silly game. This creates a soft, invisible network of goodwill around the planet. Millions of neural pathways lighting up with similar positive emotions all at once. It is a wave of calm rolling across the continents. You are connected in this quiet way to people you will never meet. Your smile is echoed on the other side of the world. This thought can dissolve loneliness. It can make the world feel smaller, cozier, like a shared living room where a fascinating story is being told.
You are not isolated in your restfulness. You are part of a vast, silent congregation, all facing the same gentle light, all breathing in the same rhythm of narrative, a global, synchronized exhalation of relaxation. Let us think about the longevity, the many years this has been going on. The childhood of the channel spans the adolescence of many of its viewers. For them, MrBeast has been a constant, a fixture, like a tree in the yard that you see every day, and then one day you realize it has grown tremendously, and so have you. This long, slow arc is the opposite of internet fame as a flash in the pan. It is a slow burn, a steady flame. There is deep security in something that endures. It promises that not everything is fleeting, that some creations have the strength to put down roots and grow. The channel is a digital sequoia. It grew slowly at first, then accelerated, becoming a giant in the landscape. But its age rings are there, visible in the changing video quality, the evolving on-screen personality, the increasing ambition. To trace back through the archive is to walk through a digital forest, from the youngest saplings to the oldest, thickest trunks. This journey through time is a calming one. It shows growth, evolution, a sustained purpose that adapts and expands but never loses its core. Your own life has such an arc. You have your own age rings, marking periods of growth, of challenge, of peace. The channel's longevity is a reminder that we are all growing, slowly and surely, year by quiet year. We are all becoming older, wiser, more complex versions of ourselves. This is not a thing to fear, but to observe with gentle curiosity, as one observes the steady growth of an ancient, peaceful tree. Now, ponder the simplicity of the ideas at their core. Give someone a house, buy everything in a store, last to take their hand off a jet wins it. These are concepts a child could understand. There is no complex backstory, no intricate rules to learn. The premise is immediate, visceral, and clear. This simplicity is a cognitive relief. It asks very little of your tired mind. You are not solving a puzzle. You are not following a complex plot. You are observing a simple premise play out to its logical, often spectacular, conclusion. It is like watching a marble roll down an elaborate run. The cause and effect are beautiful in their clarity. The marble is released, and then we watch, mesmerized, as gravity does its simple, elegant work, guiding the marble through loops and tunnels until it lands in a cup. The complexity is in the run's construction, not in the rule. The rule is simply gravity works. In MrBeast videos, the rule is simply generosity or competition works. This return to simple, almost archetypal stories is deeply soothing. It touches on basic human desires for wealth, for victory, for surprise, for fairness. It bypasses the sophisticated, weary parts of our brain and speaks directly to the hopeful child within. And as you drift toward sleep, it is that hopeful, simple-minded child who is most awake. The part of you that still believes in sudden turns of good fortune, in the magic of a gift appearing from nowhere. Let that simple part lead you now, away from complexity, into the clear, bright meadow of a simple, wonderful idea. We have wandered through many facts, through patterns and scales and loops. Now let them all blend together into a single, soothing impression. Imagine a great, gentle machine, a machine of goodwill. Its fuel is attention. Its engine is creativity and relentless work. Its output is moments of life-changing joy, recorded and shared. This machine hums along day and night in a state of perpetual, peaceful motion.
It is not a cold machine of gears and steel. It is a living machine made of people, friendships, laughter, and spreadsheets. It has a rhythm you can set your clock by. It has a scale that defies the personal, yet feels personal to millions. It transforms the ephemeral stuff of the internet, clicks, views, likes, into the solid stuff of human experience, relief, education, houses, forests, clean oceans. This is a modern alchemy, a calming, benevolent alchemy. As you lie there, your body growing heavier, your mind growing softer, you can imagine this machine at work somewhere in the world, a quiet, powerful, positive force, a constant, a proof that large systemic kindness is possible, that consistency builds empires of good, that a simple idea, nurtured with patient dedication, can ripple out and touch the world in gentle ways. You don't need to understand the mechanics, you simply need to know it is there, a lighthouse of predictable generosity, blinking its reassuring rhythm into the digital night. And its light, steady and warm, can guide you now away from the shores of wakefulness into the deeper, darker, quieter waters of sleep. The facts are all around you now, not as separate points, but as a soft, murmuring stream, the stream of consistency, the deep ocean of scale, the quiet room of beginnings, the closed loop of giving, the symbiotic sponsorship, the serene preparation, the ordinary participants, the patient editing, the meditative repetition, the loyal crew, the growing forests, the meticulous logistics, the earnest simplicity, the satisfying sounds, the enduring stillness, the global connection, the long, slow growth, the childlike premise, all of it blending into a single humming note of human endeavor. A note that is not sharp, but round, not loud, but resonant. It is the background noise of a world where good things happen on a grand, predictable scale. And in that predictability, there is ultimate peace. Your breathing has slowed to match the rhythm of this story, in and out, like the tide of uploads, like the cycle of give and receive. Your body is soft against the sheets, a participant in the gentle challenge of releasing the day. You have outlasted the wakeful hours, and now the prize is here. Not a car or cash or an island, but something far more valuable and readily available. The prize of deep, restoring rest. So let the images soften now. Let them blur at the edges and melt into the dark. Allow the facts to become feelings, a feeling of vast, calm order, a feeling of gentle, cyclical motion, a feeling of being part of a quiet, positive sea. There is nothing more to figure out, no more challenges to undertake. Simply allow your mind to be that still participant, the last to leave the podium of consciousness, and finally, gracefully, step down into the waiting, silent embrace of sleep. The video has ended. The screen is dark.
And you can drift off now to dreams of your own. Sleep well, and good night. Let us continue our gentle journey, drifting deeper into the landscape of quiet facts, where the scale of things becomes a soft blanket for the mind, and the repetition of effort becomes a lullaby. We have seen the great machine of generosity humming its constant tune. Now, let us focus on one of its most calming components, the archive. The sheer volume of content, thousands of videos, stretching back through the years. Imagine this not as a library to be studied, but as a deep, stratified geological formation. Each video is a layer of sediment deposited week after week, year after year. If you were to dig down through these layers, you would find the history of a digital age told through the lens of one ever-evolving project. You would find trends that came and went, inside jokes that were born and faded, the gradual improvement in production quality, like the slow polishing of a stone by a river. This archive is a monument to time itself. It proves that time, when met with consistent action, creates substance. It creates a body of work. There is immense peace in a large, complete body of work. It means the story is being told. It is ongoing, but it also has a tangible past. You could never watch it all, and that is okay. Its very existence is the comfort. It is always there, a vast reservoir of predictable narrative. On a lonely night or a restless afternoon, you can dip into any layer, any year, and find the same core principles at play. A challenge, a gift, a spectacle of goodwill. This reliability across time is an anchor for the wandering mind. It says that some things do not fundamentally change. The method may refine, the scale may expand, but the heart of the endeavor remains, steady as a bedrock. Let your mind rest on that bedrock now, the solid, accumulated weight of thousands of days of work, all leading to this present moment and all promising more to come. A past, present, and future, all aligned in a single peaceful purpose. From the archive, we can pluck a single soothing concept, the reaction video. Not the reactions of others to MrBeast, but the reactions within the videos, the moment of the reveal, the hands going to the mouth, the stunned silence followed by disbelieving laughter or tears. These are moments of pure, unfiltered human emotion, but watch them not as explosions of feeling, but as quiet transitions. The moment before the reveal, the person exists in one state of reality, a state of lack, of ordinary life, of manageable dreams. Then the new information arrives. You just won $100,000. This house is yours. And in that instant, their reality changes. Their entire worldview shifts on its axis. We are privileged to witness that precise, delicate moment when the old reality cracks and the new, brighter one floods in. It is a metamorphosis captured in real time, the caterpillar of their former life dissolving, and the butterfly of new possibility trembling wet-winged into being. This is a deeply peaceful thing to observe because it is a reminder that change can be instant, that fortune can turn on a dime, that the universe, in its vast, indifferent machinery, can sometimes produce a gear that turns in our favor, perfectly meshing with our deepest needs. Watching these reactions is like watching 100 different sunrises, each on a different human face, the dawn of a new day for them. And as you watch, your own nervous system can subtly mirror that release, that flood of relief and joy. It is a vicarious catharsis, a gentle, shared sunrise. Let that warm dawn light wash over your own mind now, not for something material, but for the simple, profound shift from wakefulness into sleep, your own gentle reveal, the moment when the day's reality softens and the new dream-filled reality quietly announces itself. Now, consider the mathematics, the cool, clean logic of the numbers. $100,000, $1 million, 20 million trees, 800 million views. These numbers are so large they become abstractions. They become landscapes. You cannot walk through a forest of $100,000, but you can imagine the quiet, orderly stacks of bills, the neat columns in a spreadsheet, the serene logic of a bank transfer. Mathematics is the ultimate in non-violent, precise thinking. It is a world of pure relationship, where everything balances, where sums are tallied, where percentages are calculated with silent, flawless accuracy. The reliance on these round, huge numbers in the videos is a tap into that world of order. It provides a framework for the chaos of human emotion. The emotion is the wild, beautiful garden. The number is the neat stone path that runs through it, giving you a way to navigate the wonder. $10,000 for every 10 seconds you stand on this block of ice. $1 for every second you stay in this circle. The translation of time into money, of endurance into value, is a primitive yet profoundly satisfying equation. It makes the intangible tangible. It gives a clear, measurable worth for effort. In a world where effort so often goes unrewarded, or its rewards are murky and delayed, this immediate mathematical fairness is a balm. It is a promise that the universe, in this constructed scenario, is perfectly just. The rules are clear. The payoff is precise. Your mind, tired from a day of ambiguous outcomes and unclear returns, can rest in this crystalline certainty. 1 + 1 = 2. Endure for an hour. Earn $3,600. The logic is pristine, peaceful, and absolute. Let that absolute certainty settle over you now, the certainty that for your endurance of this day, the payoff is not measured in currency, but in the deep, restorative currency of sleep. The equation is simple. Day yields to night. Wakefulness yields to rest. The sum is always balance. Let us think about the light, the quality of light in the videos. It is always bright, clear, and saturated. The sun shines brilliantly on giveaways and parking lots. Studio lights bathe sets in an even, shadowless glow. This is not the dim, ambiguous light of evening or the harsh, fluorescent glare of an office. It is the light of a perfect summer afternoon, the light of clarity. Everything is visible. There are no hidden corners, no secrets in the gloom. This visual environment is subconsciously calming. It tells your brain that the environment is safe, open, and honest. There is nowhere for danger to lurk. It is the opposite of anxiety, which thrives in uncertainty, in the poorly seen, in the murky. This is a world of high definition in every sense. The colors are vivid, the green of money, the red of logos, the blue of a summer sky. This saturation is a feast for the eyes, but a gentle one. It is like looking at a field of wildflowers. There is no need to interpret, simply receive the sensation of color. As you lie in your dim room, you can recall that bright, honest light, not as a stimulant, but as a memory of safety, a digital sanctuary illuminated by goodwill. And in your mind's eye, you can let that bright light slowly soften and warm and turn to the golden hue of sunset, then to the deep, soothing blue of twilight, matching the gradual dimming of your own awareness as you prepare for the dark, welcome embrace of the night. Now, drift to the concept of the studio, the physical space where so much is conceived and edited. While the filming happens in spectacular locations, the engine room is often a quiet, controlled environment. Imagine the quiet of that space after hours. The cameras are off, the sets are still. The only light comes from the standby LEDs on computers and equipment, a soft electronic constellation in the dark. The air is still. This is the calm after the storm of creativity. Every object in that room holds potential. A camera holds 1,000,000 future images. A microphone holds 1,000,000 future sounds. A green screen holds 1,000,000 future worlds. In its stillness, the studio is a temple of potential energy. It is a space where the chaotic energy of filming is brought to be tamed, shaped, and released into the world as a coherent story. There is a sacred peace in such spaces, the peace of tools waiting to be used, of a blank slate. The studio does not judge, it simply contains. It holds the echoes of past laughter and the whispers of ideas yet to be born. Your own mind is such a studio. Throughout the day, It is a bustling set, full of action, dialogue, and... But now, as you prepare for sleep, it becomes that quiet after-hours space. The cameras of your senses are powering down. The microphones of your attention are becoming less sensitive. The sets of your daily concerns are being struck, folded, and put away. You are returning to the quiet studio of yourself, a place of pure potential, where the only activity is the gentle background hum of your resting brain, editing the day's experiences into the story of your life. Welcome that studio quiet. It is your natural state, waiting beneath the noise. Consider the role of music, the background tracks that underscore the videos. They are rarely obtrusive or melodramatic. They are often ambient, pulsing softly, building gently during moments of tension, swelling with warmth during moments of triumph. This music is an emotional guide rail. It tells your heart how to feel without you having to decide. It is a compassionate manipulation, a gentle hand on your shoulder, saying, "Feel suspense here, now feel joy." This surrender of emotional direction is a relief. It allows you to be passive, to be carried by the sonic current. The music is designed to be felt in the body, not analyzed by the mind. A deep sub-bass rumble of anticipation, a bright, sparkling cascade of notes for a reveal. These are primal cues. They bypass thought and speak directly to the nervous system, coaxing it through the peaks and valleys of the narrative. As you listen to nothing but the sound of your own breathing now, you can imagine that soft, guiding music, a slow, ambient drone with no sharp edges, a sound that does not demand, but simply supports. It is the sound of the video's heartbeat, and you can let your own heartbeat slow to match its peaceful, unwavering tempo. In and out, a gentle swell and a gentle release. The music of rest has no melody you need to follow, only a deep, reassuring tone that says, all is well. The story is proceeding as it should, and you are safe within it. Let us reflect on the anonymity within the fame. While the face of the channel is known to all, there are countless others who make it function. The editors, the designers, the accountants, the coordinators. They are the deep-sea crew of this great ship, working in the pressurized, quiet depths below the waterline of fame. They are not seeking the spotlight. Their satisfaction comes from the smooth operation of the whole, from a clean edit, a solved logistical puzzle, a balanced budget. This is the peace of being part of something larger than oneself, without the burden of personal celebrity. It is the peace of the craftsman who signs his work not with a name, but with the flawless quality of the joinery. These individuals have the deep, quiet satisfaction of knowing they helped create a phenomenon from the shadows. Their creativity is channeled entirely into the success of the project, not their own image. This self-forgetfulness is a form of meditation. It is work as a flow state. Time disappears when they are focused on color grading a scene or arranging travel for 50 people. There is a lesson here for the restless mind. Peace can often be found not in seeking attention, but in absorbing yourself so completely in a meaningful task that the self, with all its worries, temporarily vanishes. You are not your anxieties. You are the person solving this problem right now. As you lie in bed, you can practice this gentle self-forgetfulness. You are not your to-do list for tomorrow. You are not yesterday's regrets. Right now, you are simply the breather, the sleeper. Your task is to breathe and to rest. Absorb yourself in that simple, profound work. Let all other identities soften and fade into the background, like quiet crew members in the depths of the ship, keeping everything running smoothly as you drift. Think of the durability of the format. While other YouTube genres have risen and fallen, the viral sketch, the abrasive commentary, the frantic gaming highlight, the core MrBeast format has remained remarkably consistent. A premise, a challenge, a payoff. It is a classic story structure as old as storytelling itself. A hero faces a trial and wins a reward. This timelessness is calming. It connects the digital present to the ancient past, around campfires where stories of great hunts and found treasures were told. The medium is new, but the story is ancient. This connection is a root going deep into the soil of human psychology. It tells us that our desires are not modern corruptions, they are fundamental human yearnings dressed in new clothes. The yearning for a test of skill or endurance, the yearning for a windfall that solves our problems, the yearning to witness fortune smiling on someone. These are the yearnings that built myths, and here they are, served weekly in 15-minute segments. Knowing you are participating in an ancient human ritual can make the act of watching feel less trivial, more dignified. It is part of the long, unbroken human chain of seeking wonder. You are keeping that chain alive simply by paying attention. And as you close your eyes, you can feel that chain extending behind you, back through time, a lineage of people who have listened to stories in the dark, their minds weaving pictures from words until the pictures became dreams and the words became the silent language of sleep. Now, ponder the global philanthropy beyond the trees and the seas, the mystery donations to food banks, to individuals in need, spotted through social media. These are the unseen currents of the operation, the quiet, unrecorded acts of giving that happen off camera. For every spectacular filmed giveaway, there are likely dozens of smaller, silent kindnesses. This is the deep aquifer of generosity that feeds the visible springs. Knowing this exists is a deeply comforting thought. It means the goodness is not a performance, it is a habit, a default setting. The public videos are the flagship projects, but the charity continues in private, in the mundane transactions of helping others. This duality is peaceful. It speaks of an integrity of character, that the desire to give is not switched on with the camera and switched off when it stops rolling. It is a constant, low-grade impulse, like a heartbeat. Give, give, give. This rhythm is perhaps the most soothing rhythm of all. It is the rhythm of a healthy heart, not just of a person, but of an entire enterprise. A heart that takes in resources only to pump them out again, nourishing the body of the world. Imagine that heartbeat now, slow and steady, somewhere in the world. A quiet, powerful pulse of goodwill, sending its lifeblood through the veins of the internet and into the real, physical lives of people. You can sync your own heartbeat to that imagined rhythm, a pulse of peace, a pulse of rest. Each beat, a gentle release of the day's tensions, a soft donation of your wakefulness to the silent charity of the night. We have wandered through the bright studios and the deep archives, through the mathematics and the music, through the scheduled uploads and the timeless stories. Let all these strands now weave together into a single, soft tapestry, a tapestry that depicts not a person, but a phenomenon, a weather system of generosity. It has its own climate, its own predictable patterns, high-pressure zones of intense work and preparation, low-pressure zones of creative brainstorming, the steady trade winds of the upload schedule, and the occasional magnificent thunderstorm of a viral video watering the digital landscape with attention. You are not in this weather system. You are observing it from a distance, from a window, a safe, comfortable window. You can watch the clouds of content roll by, hear the distant rumble of excitement, feel the gentle rain of kindness falling on others, and it does not disturb you. It is a spectacle that soothes because of its scale, its predictability, its inherent goodness. It is a peaceful storm to observe, and as you observe it now from the quiet of your room, you can feel your own internal weather settling, the scattered thoughts like clouds dissipating, the low pressure of worry easing, the winds of mental chatter dying down to a soft breeze, and the clear, calm, high-pressure system of sleep beginning to gently descend, covering your entire consciousness in a blanket of still, quiet air. There is no more to analyze, no more to ponder. Simply allow the peaceful weather of this story to lull you into the calmest of nights. The video of the day is ending, the screen of your mind is dimming, and you are ready now to slip into the deepest, most restorative content of all, the silent, offline video of your own dreams. Sleep well and good night.
Let us drift further, deeper, into the gentle current of these facts, where the boundaries between one idea and the next become soft and blurred, like colors in water. We have contemplated the weather system, the grand, predictable patterns. Now let us sink into the details, the tiny, repetitive motions that, in their multitude, create the whole. Consider the handshake, the simple human act of a hand being extended and met by another. In so many videos, the conclusion, the reward, is punctuated by this fundamental gesture, a transfer of goodwill made flesh. It is a ritual of closure and connection. Think of the feeling of a firm, honest handshake, the warmth of another palm, the slight pressure, the brief mutual acknowledgement. It is a moment of pure presence. In that second, there are no cameras, no audience, just two people, connected by a bridge of bone and skin, sealing a promise. That handshake is the period at the end of the sentence of the challenge. It says, "It is done. The deal is fair. We are in agreement." This tiny ritual, repeated hundreds of times, is a heartbeat of human trust. It is an ancient technology of peace. As you lie with your hands resting softly at your sides, you can imagine that feeling, the gentle pressure of connection, not grasping, not clinging, but a simple, brief meeting, and then a release. Your own hands can release their subtle daily tensions. They are not required to shake or hold or work right now. They can simply be, resting, heavy, as if still feeling the warm, reassuring echo of a promise kept, a transaction of goodwill completed. Let that imagined warmth flow from your hands, up your arms, and into your shoulders, softening them, telling your body that all agreements for the day are settled, all accounts are closed. You may rest. From the handshake, let your mind drift to the contract, the literal written agreement that often accompanies the grand gifts, the signing of papers. This too is a ritual of immense calm. It is the translation of exuberant generosity into the calm, black and white language of law. The wild, joyful shout is given a sober, quiet home in a document. This process is a cooling one. It takes the heat of the moment and allows it to solidify into a permanent, unchanging form. The signature at the bottom of the page is a quiet anchor. It means the gift cannot be taken back by a change of heart. It is secured, made safe. For the recipient, this moment is the deepest breath of relief. The excitement of winning fades into the profound, quiet certainty of owning. The papers are a totem of that certainty. They can be filed away, referenced, held. They are proof that the dream is not a dream. This movement from the ephemeral to the permanent is one of life's most soothing journeys. It is the journey we take each night as we try to turn the ephemeral worries of the day into the permanent peace of a lesson learned or simply released. The contract signing is a metaphor for that release. You are signing a contract with the night, an agreement that states, for these next hours, you are relieved of ownership of your problems. They are filed away in a cabinet that will not open until morning. Your signature is your exhale, your consent to be, simply, at peace. Let that document be signed now in your mind. Let the pen move slowly, deliberately, leaving a trail of dark ink that spells out your permission to sleep. Now, consider the quiet fact of failure. Not every idea is a success. Not every video hits the same astronomical numbers. Some experiments are quieter, but they are all part of the stream. This acceptance of variable outcomes is a masterclass in non-attachment. It is the understanding that the creative process is a river, and you cannot be attached to every single eddy or ripple. You must trust the flow. The team conceives, executes, and releases. Then they move on to the next idea. There is no lingering anguish over a video that only got 50 million views instead of 100. There is learning, and then there is forward motion. This attitude is deeply liberating. It defeats perfectionism, that anxious demon that whispers that everything must be a masterpiece. In this world, the masterpiece is the body of work, not the individual piece. This takes the pressure off. It allows for play, for trying things that might not work, for the peace that comes from knowing that not every swing needs to be a home run. Sometimes it is enough to have stepped up to the plate and taken you swing. As you review your own day, you can adopt this gentle perspective. Not every moment was a success. Some ideas failed. Some interactions were less than perfect, but they were all swings. They were all part of the flow of your day. You can learn from them, and then, with the softest of sighs, you can release them into the archive of experience. You do not need to carry them forward. Like a video that has been uploaded, your day is now complete. It is part of your history. You can let it be and turn your attention to the next project, the beautiful blank project of sleep. Let us think about the laughter, the cruise laughter, often heard off camera. It is not the laughter of a joke, but the laughter of shared absurdity. The laughter that comes from building a giant, functional game of operation or watching someone try to eat a ghost pepper. It is the laughter of camaraderie in the face of a ridiculous, self-imposed task. This laughter is a sound of pure stress release. It is the brain's way of acknowledging that the situation is outside normal boundaries, and the appropriate response is not fear, but joy. This shared, helpless laughter binds people together. It is a sonic glue. When you hear it, even as a viewer, your mirror neurons fire, and you feel a faint echo of that bonding, that release. It is a permission to not take things so seriously, to see the grand endeavor as ultimately a form of play, a very expensive, very elaborate form of play. This perspective is a key to peace. It reminds us that much of human endeavor, even the most ambitious, is a kind of play. A way to interact with the world that is about curiosity and experience, not just grim results. As you lie in the dark, you can recall that sound of easy, shared laughter, not a loud gahaw, but a warm, rumbling chuckle of people who enjoy the work they do together. Let that sound resonate in your chest as a quiet hum of contentment. Your own mind can chuckle softly at the absurdities of the day now past, and then let them go, because playtime is over and rest time has begun. Now, visualize the counting of money, the slow, methodical stacking of bills, the crisp sound of new 100s being fanned, the orderly piles growing on a table. This is an activity of profound focus. It requires a quiet mind. You cannot count a large sum of money while distracted. You must be present with each bill. 100, 200, 300. It is a meditation on value made tangible. The counter enters a zone, a trance of numeracy. The world shrinks to the feeling of paper between fingers, the visual recognition of denomination, the mental addition. It is a task that completely occupies the cognitive load, leaving no room for anxious thoughts. This is why it is so satisfying to watch. It offers a vicarious experience of that single-minded focus. Your own restless mind, leaping from worry to memory to plan, can latch on to this simple, repetitive task and be calmed by it. Imagine now that you are not counting money, but counting breaths. Each breath is a unit of calm, a unit of life. In, 1, out, 2. You do not need to rush. There is no total to reach, no goal. The counting itself is the purpose. It is the gentle, rhythmic occupation of a mind that is ready to quiet itself. Let your breaths become those crisp, new bills of tranquility, each one valuable, each one counted, each one adding to the peaceful wealth of the night. Consider the role of the title and the thumbnail. They are promises. I gave a random homeless man $100,000. Last to leave $800,000 island keeps it. These are not questions, they are statements of fact. They tell you exactly what you will see. There is no mystery about the outcome, only the process. This removes a layer of anxiety from the viewing experience. You are not watching to find out if something will happen, but how it will happen. This shifts the tension from suspense of outcome to suspense of method. It is a more comfortable, more open-ended kind of curiosity. It is the difference between wondering if a storm will hit and watching a storm you know is coming, rolling in across the plains, admiring its structure and power. This knowingness is calming. It allows you to surrender to the experience without the underlying clutch of uncertainty. As you move towards sleep, you can adopt this same knowingness. You know what is coming. Sleep is coming. It is the title of this next chapter of your night. I fell into a deep and restorative sleep. The thumbnail is the image of your soft pillow, your dark room. The process is the gentle letting go of your thoughts. You know the outcome, so you can relax into the process, observing with quiet curiosity how your own mind and body will unravel the tensions of the day to achieve the promised certain result. Let that promised warmth flow from your hands, up your arms, and into your shoulders.
Let us reflect on the sheer patience of the camera, the static shots of someone enduring, waiting, standing still. The camera does not grow impatient. It does not look away. It holds its gaze, steady and unblinking, bearing witness. This patient gaze is a form of respect. It says, I see your effort. I will not miss the moment you give up or the moment you succeed. For the viewer, this patient gaze gives permission to also be still, to not need constant cuts and action, to appreciate the drama of stillness. In a world of frantic jump cuts, this is a radical act of slowness. It teaches the eye to rest, to settle on a single image and find the subtle changes within it. The shift of weight from one foot to another, the slow blink of tired eyes, the gradual setting of the sun in the background. This is the pace of nature, the pace of clouds forming, of plants growing. It is the true pace of our planet, beneath the frenetic pace of human invention. As you close your own eyes, you can imagine your mind as such a patient camera. It is not searching for new stimuli. It is simply trained on the single, still image of your breath, the gentle rise and fall of your chest. It holds that gaze, steady and unblinking, bearing witness to your own quiet endurance of the day, and now your gentle surrender to rest. There is no need to cut away. This is the only shot that matters now. The slow, steady shot of you, breathing in the peaceful dark. Think of the making of footage, sometimes released as secondary content. The bloopers, the moments when a light falls over, or someone forgets a line, or the grand reveal happens before the camera is rolling. These moments reveal the humanity behind the perfection. They are cracks in the polished facade, and through those cracks, we see the ordinary, fumbling, collaborative work of creation. This is deeply reassuring. It dismantles the illusion of seamless, godlike production and shows it for what it is, a group of people working hard, making mistakes, laughing about them, and trying again. This normalizes effort. It tells us that everything impressive is built on a foundation of trial and error, of glue and gaffer tape, of patience and redos. There is no magic, only work. And work is something we can all understand. It is relatable.
It grounds the spectacle in the soil of human endeavor. As you think about your own life's work, your own projects and relationships, remember that they too have bloopers. They have outtakes, moments that did not go as planned. And those moments are not failures. They are part of the making of, the essential human texture of your story. You can smile them in the dark and let them go. The final cut of your day is now complete, and it was perfectly adequate. It was human. Now ponder the audience demographics, the fact that the channel is watched by children, teenagers, adults, the elderly, a span of generations. This means that in families, sometimes 3 generations are watching the same content. A grandfather, a father, a son, all understanding the simple premise, all sharing the same reaction. This is a rare and precious bridge in our fragmented media landscape. It creates a common language, a shared reference point. Did you see the one where he buried himself alive? This shared experience is a form of gentle social glue. It is a modern-day equivalent of gathering around a hearth for a story. The hearth is a screen, but the gathering is the same. The shared awe, the shared discussion, the shared moral, the generosity is good. These are threads that connect ages. This thought can dissolve feelings of isolation. You are not watching alone. You are part of a vast, multi-generational congregation, all looking in the same direction, all feeling a similar, simple wonder. And as you sleep, you are participating in an even more ancient, multi-generational practice. Every human who has ever lived has slept. You are breathing in unison with the entire history of your species, in the quiet, dark communion of rest. You are never alone in this. Let us consider the abstraction of the brand. MrBeast is no longer just a person. It is an entity, a logo, a style, a standard of production. This abstraction is peaceful because it is durable. People come and go, but a brand, if cared for, can endure. It becomes a vessel that can hold many different projects: the main channel, the philanthropy, the burger chain, the chocolate. The brand is the container, and the contents, the specific videos or products, are the contents. This separation allows for evolution. The contents can change, adapt, refresh, while the container remains familiar and trusted. Your own identity has this quality. You are the container, the enduring, conscious self. Your thoughts, feelings, and experiences are the contents. They change constantly, streaming through you. Some are exciting giveaways, some are quiet moments of endurance, some are bloopers. But you, the container, the aware space holding it all, remain. As you fall asleep, you can practice this gentle detachment. You are not your thoughts. You are the quiet brand that observes them. The thoughts are just today's content, now ending. The credits are rolling. The container, you, is settling down for maintenance, for rest, ready to hold whatever new content tomorrow will bring. This is the peace of pure being behind the drama of doing. We have ventured through the details, the handshakes, contracts, failures, laughter, counting, titles, patient cameras, bloopers, generational bridges, and abstract brands. Let them all coalesce now into a single, soft realization. This entire phenomenon is a lesson in focused energy. It is the demonstration of what happens when human energy, creative, physical, financial, emotional, is not scattered to the winds, but is focused through the lens of a single, simple intention and released in a consistent, targeted beam. That beam of energy is so concentrated it can light fires of joy, melt away problems, and illuminate the landscape of the internet. Focus is inherently peaceful. Scattered energy is anxiety. Focused energy is purpose.
Watching this focused energy at work is like watching a magnifying glass concentrate the diffuse light of the sun into a single, bright, potent point. The sun itself is chaotic fusion. The focused point is usable power. Your mind throughout the day is often that chaotic sun fusion, reactions of thought and emotion. But now, as you sleep, you can let that energy become diffuse again. You can let the magnifying glass fall away. There is no need to focus, to concentrate, to aim. You can allow your awareness to soften and spread, like sunlight at dusk, warming everything gently, demanding nothing, simply being present until it fades into the welcoming, starlit dark of deep sleep. The focused light of day is done. Now is the time for the soft, diffuse glow of night. Allow that glow to fill you, to unfocus your mind, to dissolve the sharp points of thought into a warm, blurry haze of effortless being. The video has ended. The focused light is off. Only the gentle afterglow remains on the back of your eyelids, leading you softly into dreams. Sleep well and good night.
Let us continue our descent into the soothing layers of this phenomenon, moving now from the focused beam to the ambient glow it casts, from the grand gestures to the silent spaces between them. There is a peace in the infrastructure, the unseen plumbing of such an operation. Think of the servers, the vast, humming arrays of servers in temperature-controlled rooms thousands of miles away that store every single video. Every frame of every giveaway, every reaction shot, every drone sweep over a makeshift arena is translated into binary code, a series of ones and zeros, and etched into spinning disks or silent flash memory. These servers never sleep. They maintain a perfect, cool, constant environment for the data. They are the digital hippocampus of this entire endeavor, holding every memory perfectly, indefinitely. The data rests there in a state of potential, waiting only for a request from a viewer to spring into temporary existence on a screen. This is a deeply calming thought, that the moments of joy, the surprises, the laughter, are all preserved in a state of perfect stillness, in a form of digital amber. They are safe. They cannot decay. They exist in a realm outside of time, in the quiet, climate-controlled eternity of the cloud. Your own memories, the good and the peaceful ones, are stored in a similar biological server, your mind. And as you sleep, that server undergoes maintenance, consolidation, defragmentation. The experiences of the day are indexed and filed away into long-term storage. You can trust this process. It happens automatically, in the background, without your conscious effort. Just as the videos are safe on their servers, your memories are safe within you, being gently sorted and stored for future recall. There is nothing for you to do but allow the maintenance cycle to run its course. Now consider the concept of the loop in a more intimate sense, the comment section. A video is released, and within minutes it begins to generate a river of text, reactions, jokes, personal stories, debates. This river flows ceaselessly beneath the video, a parallel stream of human consciousness responding to the stimulus. But if you view it from a great height, not as individual comments, but as a collective entity, it becomes a soft, murmuring echo of the video itself. It is the audience breathing out after holding its breath. The comment section is a social organism,
processing the shared experience. It self-organizes. Inside jokes rise to the top. Thoughtful reflections find their little pockets of agreement. The inevitable debates about ethics or fairness form their own slow eddies. This is a form of emergent order. No one is in charge of the comment section, yet it creates its own patterns, its own rhythms, its own culture. Watching this happen, not participating, just observing, is like watching ants build a colony or starlings form a murmuration. It is chaos resolving into a kind of beautiful, complex harmony. It is proof that humans, even in anonymous digital spaces, instinctively seek to create community and meaning around a shared event. This instinct is fundamentally peaceful. It is the instinct to connect, to say, "I saw it too, I felt that too." As you drift off, you can imagine your own thoughts as that gentle comment section. Thoughts arising in response to the day's video. Some are repetitive, some are insightful, some are argumentative. But you do not need to engage with each one. You can simply observe them as a murmuration, patterns forming and dissolving in the dark sky of your mind. They are just the brain's processing, its way of creating social cohesion within itself. You can let them flow by, a quiet stream of consciousness beneath the main feature of your rest. Let us think about the light again, but from a different angle. The studio lighting rigs, the soft boxes, the LED panels, the reflectors. Their sole purpose is to eliminate shadow, to create even, forgiving illumination. In their light, everyone looks their best. Flaws are softened. The environment is made clear and safe. This light is a form of visual kindness. It does not judge, it merely reveals in the most benevolent way possible. It is the opposite of a harsh, interrogating spotlight. It is an embracing glow. Imagine that light now, not as something you see, but as something you feel. A soft, warm, even pressure on your skin, like sunlight filtered through thin clouds. It has no direction, no source you can pinpoint. It simply is. It fills the space. You can imagine this gentle, omnidirectional light filling the room you are in now, filling your mind, illuminating your thoughts without casting long, frightening shadows, showing you that there is nothing hidden in the corners to fear. Everything is out in the open, simple and clear. Your worries under this light lose their sharp edges. They become merely objects in the room, neutral and unthreatening. The light of understanding, of peace, is like that studio light. It does not solve problems. It simply allows you to see them clearly, without drama, and in that clear seeing, they often lose their power. Allow that soft, even light to permeate your awareness now, pushing back the shadows of the night, not with brightness, but with a pervasive, gentle glow that says, "All is well, all is visible. There is nothing here that can harm you in this restful state." Now reflect on the travel, the crews flying to different countries, driving to remote locations, all to film a concept that could often be filmed in a backyard. This pursuit of the perfect setting is a quest for novelty, but also for scale. A challenge in a warehouse is impressive. The same challenge on a deserted island is epic. This movement across the globe is a reminder of the vastness and variety of the world, yet the core activity remains unchanged. It is a comforting paradox. You can travel to the most exotic location on Earth, and what you do there is still a human game with simple rules. The backdrop changes, but the play is the same. This tells us that human nature is constant. Our desires for challenge, reward, and spectacle are the same in a North Carolina warehouse as they are on a Caribbean beach. The scenery is just a beautiful wrapper. As you lie still in your bed, you can take a similar journey without moving a muscle. Your mind can travel across the landscapes of your memory or the terrains of your imagination. You can visit a peaceful beach, a quiet forest, a soft, familiar room. But the core of you, the sleeper, remains constant. The location of your body does not change. The journey is internal, and the purpose is always the same: to find rest. You are on a permanent, gentle journey inward to the most remote and peaceful location of all, the center of your own calm. Consider the sound of silence, not total silence, but the ambient silence that exists in the videos before an action or during a moment of stunned reaction. That half-second of pure, unscripted quiet, where the only sound might be the wind or the hum of electricity or a distant bird. These pockets of silence are precious. They are the white space around the words of the video. They allow the viewer to absorb what just happened, to feel the weight of a moment. In a medium that is often afraid of dead air, these silences are acts of confidence. They say the moment is strong enough to stand on its own without a musical cue or a voiceover. This respect for silence is a gift to the overloaded mind. It is a tiny oasis of nothingness in a desert of stimulus. You can cultivate this same silence now. Between your thoughts, between your breaths, there is a tiny sliver of pure silence. Listen for it, not with effort, but with soft
Attention. In the pause after the exhale, before the inhale begins, there it is. A miniature perfect silence, a white space in the narrative of your breathing. You can rest in those silences, letting them grow longer and deeper until the sounds of thought are like distant birdsong, far away and not disturbing the deep, quiet peace of the night. Let us ponder the ethical framework, unspoken but present, the inherent fairness of the games. The rules are stated clearly up front. Everyone has a theoretically equal chance. Cheaters are disqualified. The integrity of the contest is paramount. This creates a moral universe that is simple and just. It is a world where actions have clear consequences and where fairness is the highest law. For the viewer, this is a mental vacation from the moral ambiguities of the real world. We live in a world where effort does not always equal reward, where the rules are unclear and often unfair. To step into a universe where the rules are absolute and fairness is enforced is deeply relaxing. It is a return to a childlike understanding of justice. It satisfies a deep craving for order. As you release the day, you can apply this simple framework to yourself. You followed the rules of the day as best you could. You showed up, you tried, you endured. Therefore, you have earned the reward. The reward is not a monetary prize, but the inherent right to rest. You have qualified. You have met the conditions. No one can disqualify you from this. The fairness of the universe in this one instance is guaranteed. You have outlasted the day, and now the prize of sleep is yours by right. Let that certainty settle into your bones. You have earned this. Think of the slow-motion shot, the camera capturing a splash of water, a confetti explosion, a jump of joy,
at 1,000 frames per second. What was a blur of motion to the naked eye is revealed as a series of beautiful, discrete stages. The droplet hanging in the air, a perfect sphere. The piece of confetti twisting gracefully, catching the light. The expression of joy unfolding micro-moment by micro-moment. Slow motion reveals the hidden poetry in chaos. It teaches us that within every frantic event, there is a slow, beautiful truth waiting to be seen. It is a lesson in perception. Your own life, when you are anxious, feels like it is playing at double speed. Everything is a blur. But you have the power in this moment to apply slow motion perception to your thoughts. Take a worry and slow it down in your mind. Break it into its component parts. See it not as a terrifying whole, but as a sequence of ideas, each one manageable, each one floating separately in the space of your mind, like slow-motion confetti. There is no urgency. Time in this bed is stretched. A minute can feel like an hour. Use that stretched time to see the beauty in the slow unfolding of your own relaxation, the slow melting of tension in a muscle, the slow deepening of a breath, the slow, graceful drift of a thought across the dark sky of your mind before it twinkles out like a star at dawn. Now consider the sheer volume of discarded ideas. For every video that is made, there are dozens, perhaps hundreds of concepts that were discussed, sketched out, and then abandoned. They exist only in meeting notes, on whiteboards that have been erased, in the fleeting synapses of a brainstorming session. This invisible archive of unmade content is a universe of potential that never manifested. And that is okay. It is necessary. Creativity requires a wide funnel. You must generate a great deal of raw material to find the few nuggets of gold. This means that failure at the idea stage is not just acceptable, it is essential. It is part of the fertilizer from which the successful ideas grow. Your own mind generates countless thoughts every day. Most of them are not acted upon. Most are not even fully formed. They are the discarded ideas of your consciousness, and that is their purpose. They are the mental mulch, the cognitive compost that allows the good, clear thoughts to eventually take root. As you try to sleep, you do not need to judge the swirling, random thoughts as failures. They are just the brainstorming session of your unconscious mind. You can thank them for their service and let them be erased, like a whiteboard wiped clean at the end of a long, productive day. The meeting is adjourned. The only idea approved for tonight is the idea of rest. Let us reflect on the physicality of it all. The running, the jumping, the lifting, the enduring. These videos are records of bodies in motion, pushed to limits. But in the quiet aftermath, those bodies are still. The adrenaline fades. The muscles, tired from smiling or from standing, finally relax. There is a deep physical peace that follows great exertion, a peace that is earned. The participants, after their ordeal, sleep the sleep of the just and the exhausted. It is a profound, dreamless sleep. You too have exerted yourself today, not necessarily physically, but mentally, emotionally. Your mind has been running, jumping, lifting cognitive weights, enduring the marathon of hours. You have earned that same physical peace. Your body is tired from the mere act of housing a conscious mind for 17 or 18 hours. It yearns for the deep restoration of stillness. Feel that yearning now in your limbs, the gentle ache of existence. It is not a bad ache. It is the body's way of keeping score, of proving that you lived today. And now it is presenting its bill. The currency is rest. You are rich with the need for it. Pay the bill gladly. Settle the account. Let your body claim its earned reward.
sinking into the mattress as if it were a soft, welcoming cloud of repayment. We have contemplated servers and comments, light and travel, silence and fairness, slow motion and discarded ideas, physical exertion and earned rest. Let these concepts now blend into a single, soothing environment. Imagine a vast, quiet control room. This is the control room for the phenomenon. On one wall, a bank of monitors shows live feeds, a quiet studio, a server room's status lights, a global map with flashing pins showing where crews are. The light is dim, but everything is visible in a soft electronic glow. The air is cool and still. There is no panic here, only monitoring. A soft rhythmic beep from a heart rate monitor on a participant in a challenge somewhere in the world. The gentle tap of a keyboard as an editor makes a final adjustment. This control room is always active, but it is never frantic. It is the calm center of the storm. It is where the focus is maintained, where the energy is directed. Your own brainstem is a kind of biological control room for you. It monitors your heartbeat, your breathing, your temperature. It does this without your conscious thought, in the dim, quiet glow of autonomic function. As you fall asleep, you can imagine handing over the controls to this ancient, capable part of yourself. You are leaving the bright, noisy control room of your conscious mind, with its flashing alerts and urgent decisions, and descending into the quiet, subterranean control room of your unconscious. Here, everything is handled. Vital functions are maintained. Memories are processed. Dreams are gently cued for playback. You can trust the crew in this control room. They have been doing this job since the day you were born. They are experts. There is nothing for you to do but descend the stairs, nod to the quiet, competent crew, and take your place in the restful pod of sleep, knowing the ship is in good hands. The monitors glow softly. The gentle beat of your heart slows into a deep, wave-like rhythm, carrying you out into the quiet sea of the night. Sleep well and good night.
Let us sink even deeper now into the sediment of these facts, where the particles are so fine they form a soft mud of understanding, a bed in which the mind can rest, weightless and held. We have seen the control room, the calm nexus. Now let us contemplate the distribution network, the invisible pathways that carry the finished video out into the world, the content delivery networks, or CDNs. Imagine them not as technical jargon, but as a vast mycelial network, a fungal web of light and data spanning the entire globe. When you press play, the request travels at the speed of light through fiber optic cables, deep under oceans and across continents, to the nearest node where a copy of the video is cached. It then flows back to you, a river of light and information, reassembling itself perfectly on your screen. This happens millions of times simultaneously for millions of different viewers in millions of different locations. Yet the system does not break. It is designed for this load. It is resilient, self-healing, redundant. There is a profound peace in such a robust, silent system. It works so well that we never think of it. It is the ultimate in reliable infrastructure. It is like the circulatory system of the planet, but for ideas. And it delivers its payload, a story of generosity, with flawless, quiet efficiency. Your own nervous system is such a network. Right now, it is carrying signals of relaxation from your conscious mind to your toes, to your fingers, to your eyelids. It is delivering the message, soften, release, rest. It is a network far more ancient and sophisticated than any human invention, and it knows exactly what to do. You do not need to command it. You simply need to allow it to do its work, carrying the quiet command of sleep to every last cell, as reliably as a CDN delivers pixels to a screen. From this global network, let us focus on a single point of consumption, the screen itself, the glowing rectangle. But see it not as a source of stimulation, but as a portal of shared attention. For the duration of the video, that screen becomes a communal campfire. The light of it falls on faces in darkened rooms across the world, creating a same gentle, flickering illumination. The viewer is alone, yet connected. The screen is a boundary between the solitary self and the vast tribe of other viewers. But in sleep, you step away from the campfire. You turn your back on its light. You walk a few steps into the dark, and you lie down on the soft earth, looking up at the real stars. The glow of the fire is still a warmth on your back, a distant, comforting murmur, but it is not the focus. The focus now is the infinite, star-dusted blackness above you. Your screen, now dark, is just a piece of glass and metal. The real show, the ancient, slow show of the cosmos, or simply the beautiful, empty show of your own closed eyelids, is beginning. The portal has served its purpose. It gathered you, and then it released you into a deeper, more personal experience. Allow yourself to be released now. Feel the warmth of the day's shared experiences on your back, and then turn your attention inward to the private, star-filled universe of your own rest. Now consider the language used, the simple, direct, declarative sentences. I spent 24 hours in a haunted house. I gave my mom $100,000. There is no complex subtext, no irony, no hidden meaning. The language is a clear pane of glass through which you view the action. This linguistic clarity is cognitively restful. It does not require decoding. It does not play games. It informs. It declares. It is the verbal equivalent of that bright, even studio light. It leaves no room for misunderstanding or anxiety about intent. The speaker says what he means and does what he says. This alignment of word and deed is a foundation of trust, and trust is the bedrock of relaxation. You cannot relax in the presence of deceit or ambiguity. This straightforward language builds an environment of psychological safety for the viewer. You know where you stand. You are in a world of clear rules and clear outcomes. As your own internal monologue begins to slow, let it adopt this simple declarative style. Not, I wonder if I'll sleep, I hope I can stop thinking, but a calm, clear statement. I am resting. My body is heavy. Sleep is coming. Make your thoughts like clear panes of glass through which you can observe the gradual process of falling asleep, without judgment, without clutter, just simple, factual observations of your own descent. Let us think about the role of time limits, the 24-hour challenge, the 7-day challenge. These are arbitrary containers, artificial boundaries placed around an experience, but they serve a crucial purpose. They make the infinite feel finite. Enduring forever is a terrifying, impossible concept. Enduring for 24 hours is a measurable, comprehensible task. The time limit is a gift of scale. It reduces the monumental to the manageable. It is a life raft in the ocean of time. Your own life is an open-ended challenge which can feel overwhelming, but sleep offers you a perfect natural time limit, the night. It is a container. You are not resting forever. You are resting for tonight. This span of darkness, from now until dawn, is your container. It has a beginning, a middle, and a definite end. Whatever worries you have, they do not need to be solved forever.
They only need to be set aside for the duration of this container, this night. The sunrise will come and the challenge of the day will begin anew. But for now, your only task is to exist within this peaceful, time-limited pod of darkness. The countdown has begun, not to an alarm, but to a natural awakening. All you must do is rest and let the time within the container pass as slowly and gently as it wishes. Now visualize the empty set after filming, the abandoned island challenge site, once buzzing with people and cameras, now still. The giant game apparatus, silent. The only movement is the wind through the grass or the waves on the shore. The only sound is the call of a distant bird. This post-human stillness is deeply peaceful. It is nature reasserting itself, gently absorbing the temporary, frantic energy of the human project back into its slow, patient rhythm. The footprints in the sand will be washed away by the tide. The marks on the grass will fade. It is a reminder of impermanence. The spectacle was real, but it was also fleeting. It happened, it brought joy and drama, and then it ended, leaving barely a trace. This is not sad, it is liberating. It means that the pressures of today are also fleeting. The drama of your daily life, whatever it was, has now ended. The set is struck, the crew has gone home. You are left in the quiet, post-filming stillness of your own mind. The evidence of the day's actions is already fading, being smoothed over by the gentle tide of forgetting that precedes sleep. Allow that tide to come in. Let it wash over the footprints of your worries, the discarded props of your frustrations, leaving behind only smooth, clean sand, ready for the new day's impressions. Consider the humility in face of larger systems. The acknowledgement that planting 20 million trees is a drop in the bucket for the planet's reforestation needs, that cleaning millions of pounds of trash from the ocean is a small fraction of what is there. This is not for despair, but for a calm, determined perspective. It is an understanding of scale. The action is not taken because it will solve the problem completely, but because it is the right thing to do, and because it contributes to a larger whole. This is the philosophy of the coral polyp. One polyp cannot build a reef, but by doing its small, constant calcareous work, and by multiplying, it creates a continent of life that withstands the ocean's might. Your own small act of going to sleep tonight will not solve the world's problems, but it is the right thing to do for your system. It is your contribution to the larger project of your own health and well-being. It is one polyp's worth of rest added to the reef of your life. And over time, these consistent nightly contributions build a resilient structure that can weather any storm. There is no pressure to solve everything now. Just do your small, natural part. Close your eyes.
That is your calcareous secretion for the night. It is enough. Let us reflect on the absence of malice. In this constructed universe, there are no villains. The challenges are against the self, against time, against physical limits, or against anonymous competitors who are not portrayed as enemies. There is no schadenfreude, no celebration of another's failure for its own sake. Failure is simply the mechanism that narrows the field, not a moment of humiliation. This creates an emotional environment that is clean, almost sterile in its positivity. It is a world where conflict is purely structural, not personal. For a mind weary from the interpersonal complexities and subtle aggressions of daily life, this is a healing balm. It is a vacation from social threat. As you lie in the dark, you can let go of any lingering sense of social threat. There is no one to perform for, no one to compete with, no one to please or appease.
The only challenge is the gentle, personal challenge of releasing consciousness. And in that challenge, there are no losers. Everyone who tries succeeds. Simply by closing your eyes, you are winning. You are stepping out of the arena of social complexity and into the simple solo event of rest. You have already qualified. The race is only with your own wakefulness, and it is a race you are designed to win every single night. Think of the slow, inevitable arcs. The video where a channel grows from 0 to 100,000 subscribers shown in real time over years. The progress bar that fills with agonizing slowness. Watching such a thing is an exercise in surrendered patience. You cannot hurry it. You can only witness the accumulation of tiny, incremental gains. This mirrors the process of falling asleep. You cannot force it. You can only set the conditions: darkness, quiet, comfort, and then witness the slow, incremental accumulation of sleepiness. The progress bar of your alertness fills with drowsiness, percent by slow percent. Sometimes it seems to stall. Sometimes it jumps forward. But the direction is always the same, toward completion, toward the full 100% of sleep. You are in one of these slow arcs right now. The time lapse of your night has begun. Frame by frame, minute by minute, your consciousness is subtly changing. You are not doing it. It is happening to you, as inevitably as a channel gaining subscribers one by one over a long period of time. Your job is merely to watch the counter with detached curiosity until the target number is reached and the program of sleep automatically begins. Now ponder the sheer normalization of absurdity. A man giving away a private island is presented with the same straightforward demeanor as a man giving away a pizza. The scale changes, but the tone does not. This has a strangely leveling effect. It teaches the mind that all gifts, on some fundamental level, are the same. They are acts of giving. The dollar amount is just a detail. This helps to demystify wealth and scale. It makes the extraordinary feel almost ordinary, and in doing so, it reduces the anxiety of comparison. You are not meant to feel inadequate because you cannot give away an island. You are meant to understand that the impulse to give is the important part, and that impulse can be acted upon at any scale. This is a gentle, generous philosophy. It implies that your own small acts of kindness to yourself, to others, are part of the same continuum as the grandest giveaway. Your decision to be kind to yourself tonight, to give yourself the gift of deep rest, is on that continuum. It is a normalized act of self-generosity. It may feel small, even absurd in its simplicity, but its tone is the same, straightforward, declarative, and good. I am giving myself sleep. Say it in that simple, factual tone. It needs no justification. It is its own reason. We have wandered through networks and screens, language and time limits, empty sets and humble contributions, malice-free zones and slow arcs, normalized absurdity and self-generosity. Let these ideas now lose their edges, becoming a soft, luminous fog in the landscape of your mind. This fog does not obscure, it softens. It blurs the hard lines between wakefulness and sleep, between doing and being, between the individual and the crowd. You are in this fog now. It is the fog of hypnagogia, the state between waking and sleeping. In this fog, facts become feelings. The fact of the CDN becomes the feeling of being carried. The fact of the empty set becomes the feeling of peaceful abandonment. The fact of the time limit becomes the feeling of safe containment. Allow the facts to dissolve and let only the feelings remain. A feeling of being part of a vast, silent, efficient system. A feeling of having left the campfire for the quiet stars. A feeling of clear, simple intent. A feeling of being held in the gentle container of the night. A feeling of your own small, perfect contribution to your well-being. A feeling of safety from social complexity. A feeling of patient, incremental progress. A feeling of giving yourself a fundamental gift. All these feelings coalesce into one single sensation, the sensation of trust. You are trusting the systems, biological, digital, cosmic, to function without your oversight. You are trusting the process of sleep to come. You are trusting that the world for these next hours will manage without your conscious intervention. This trust is the ultimate relaxation. It is the final surrender. You are not falling asleep. You are being caught by it. You are not generating rest. You are allowing it to generate itself within you, according to its own ancient, perfect blueprint. The video of wakefulness is buffering, stuttering, coming to an end. The next video, the long, quiet, restorative video of sleep, is already loaded, cached, ready to play. All you must do is press play on trust, and you have already done so by closing your eyes, by listening to this soft voice, by letting your body grow heavy. The play button has been pressed. The first frames are already rolling. The opening scene is the gentle, rhythmic rise and fall of your own chest. The soundtrack is the quiet sigh of your own breath. The plot is simple, a journey through the healing dark. You are the star, the crew, and the audience. And it is all happening now, automatically, in the perfect, silent theater of yourself. There is nothing more to wait for. The feature presentation has begun. So settle in, get comfortable, and watch with eyes closed as the story of your sleep unfolds, beautifully, inevitably, all on its own. Sleep well, and good night.
Let us drift further now, beyond the fog, into the deeper waters where light from the surface only faintly penetrates and the pressure is a constant, comforting embrace. We have spoken of systems and trust. Now let us contemplate the architecture of habit, the deep-sea currents of routine that shape this entire endeavor. The daily stand-up meetings, the weekly creative summits, the monthly reviews, these are the rhythmic pulses of the operation, as regular as a heartbeat. They are not moments of high drama, but of quiet alignment. A team gathers, they state what they did yesterday, what they will do today, what obstacles they face. It is a ritual of accountability and clarity. It prevents the chaos of uncoordinated effort. This mundane, repetitive structure is the skeleton upon which the spectacle is draped. There is a profound peace in such routines. They are like the tides, governed by a deeper law, pulling the work forward in a reliable rhythm. Your own life is built upon such routines. The morning coffee, the commute, the evening rituals, they provide a scaffold for consciousness. And now you are engaged in the most ancient routine of all, the ritual of preparing for sleep, the brushing of teeth, the changing of clothes, the settling into bed. These are your daily stand-up meetings with your own need for rest. You are stating, through action, what you will do now. You will sleep. The obstacle is only a wandering mind, and the solution is already in motion, in the gentle, rhythmic pull of this narrative, guiding you past the obstacle, into the deep,
quiet work of the night. From the architecture of habit, consider the backups, the redundant systems, the multiple copies of footage stored in separate geographical locations, the backup generators for studios, the contingency plans for when weather disrupts a shoot. This is an operation that plans for failure, not with anxiety, but with calm preparedness. It understands that systems fail, that external events intervene, and so it builds buffers, alternatives, safety nets. This is the opposite of fragility. It is anti-fragility. It is a system that becomes stronger through stressors because it has been designed to withstand them. This approach is deeply reassuring. It means that the show is not a house of cards. It is a bunker built to survive storms. Your own body has such redundant systems. You have 2 kidneys, 2 lungs, a brain with remarkable neuroplasticity. Your sleep itself is a backup system, a nightly reboot that clears caches, repairs tissues, restores cognitive function. It is your body's contingency plan for the stress of being awake. Knowing that you are equipped with such innate biological backups can soften the fear of breakdown. You are designed to withstand. You are designed to recover. The stress of the day is merely the weather disrupting the shoot. And now you are enacting the contingency plan. You are powering down the external set and retreating to the internal fortified studio, where maintenance and repair are the only items on the agenda. The backups are online. The generators of Dream and Delta Wave are humming. All is secure. Now let us think about the fade to black, the way each video, after the final shot, the final smile to camera, does not jarringly cut, but gently fades. The image softens, loses its color and light, and becomes nothing. It is a visual sigh, a graceful acceptance of an ending. It is a courtesy to the viewer, a signal that the experience is complete, and they may now return to their own world, gently, without whiplash. This fade is a small masterpiece of empathy. It understands the psychology of transition. You are in your own fade to black now. The images in your mind are softening, losing their vividness. The colors of today's memories are muted to pastels, then to grays. The sharp sounds are fading to a distant murmur. You are not cutting abruptly from wakefulness to sleep. You are fading gracefully, frame by frame, into the welcoming darkness. There is no jarring edit. The director of this process is your own innate wisdom, and it knows to use a long, slow dissolve. So do not fight the fade. It is a courtesy to your soul. Allow the light of consciousness to dim steadily and smoothly until the screen of your mind is a uniform velvety black, ready for the subtler internal projections of dream. Consider the research phase. Before a video about surviving in the desert or explaining a complex scientific concept, a quiet period of study occurs. Books are read, experts are consulted, facts are checked. This is the silent, scholarly foundation of the entertainment. It is an act of respect for the subject and for the audience. It says that even in a spectacle, truth matters. There is a tranquility in research. It is a conversation across time and expertise. A single mind, quiet and focused, absorbing the accumulated knowledge of others. It is a humble act. It acknowledges that you do not know everything, and that is okay because others have paved the way. Your journey into sleep is also based on a kind of ancient, embodied research. Your body knows how to do this. It has consulted the deep expertise of evolution. It has read the genetic code written over millennia, detailing exactly how to restore a human organism through rest. You do not need to figure it out. You simply need to access that innate library, that bodily knowledge. Your slowing heart rate,
your dropping temperature, the chemical release of melatonin. These are not random events. They are the citations from a vast internal textbook on restorative processes. You are the beneficiary of the most extensive research and development project in history, life itself. Trust the citations. Follow the footnotes into the deep reference section of sleep. Let us reflect on the second channel phenomenon, the side projects, the gaming videos, the vlogs. These are less polished, more informal. They are the outtakes of a personality, the garden behind the mansion. They show that the grand production is not the entirety of the existence. There is also downtime, messy hair, casual conversation, failed attempts at a video game. This duality is humanizing and calming. It reveals the spectrum of energy output, from the highly focused and amplified to the diffuse and relaxed. It is a reminder that even the most prolific creators are not on all the time. They too have a baseline, a quieter mode. You too have your second channel, the you that exists outside of your primary roles, worker, parent, friend. The you that is just a body in a bed, a mind adrift. This is not a lesser you, it is the foundational you, the quiet channel that streams constantly beneath the main broadcast. The content is simple: breath, heartbeat, the quiet murmur of cellular repair. It has fewer viewers. In fact, it has an audience of one, but it is the most essential broadcast of all. Tune in to that channel now. Let the polished, high production value show of your day end. Switch inputs. Find the quiet, live feed of your own resting body. The resolution is lower, the sound is muted, but the truth it broadcasts is profound. I am here. I am alive. I am restoring. Now visualize the graph of growth, the subscriber count plotted over years. It is not a smooth, perfect curve upward. It is a jagged line with periods of steep ascent, plateaus, small dips, and then more growth. This is the truth of any complex system. Progress is not linear. It is stochastic, filled with noise. Yet the overall trend is unmistakably, overwhelmingly upward. Viewing your own life through this lens is a relief. You are allowed to have plateaus. You are allowed to have small dips. These are not failures. They are the natural noise in the signal of your growth. The overall trend toward wisdom, toward integration, toward peace is what matters, and sleep is the great integrator. It is the time when the noise of the day is smoothed out, when the data points of experience are integrated into the larger curve of your life narrative. The sharp edges of frustration, the spikes of anxiety, are averaged out into the baseline of your being. You are not falling asleep at a dip. You are entering the processing period that ensures the long-term trend continues upward. Close your eyes on the jagged minutiae of today and trust that the nightly process of integration will plot a smoother, truer course for tomorrow. Think of the silence of the check, the moment when a cashier's check for a life-changing amount is written. The pen
moves silently across the paper. There is no fanfare in that moment. It is an administrative act, a transfer of numbers from one ledger to another. But it represents a seismic shift in a human life. This dichotomy is fascinating. The immense consequence born from an utterly quiet, paper-based action. It teaches that transformation often wears the clothes of the mundane. The most important moments are not always loud. The moment you decided to truly rest tonight may have been quiet, a sigh, a shifting of position, a conscious release of a held breath. It was an administrative decision made by the executive function of your brain, signing the order to release reserves of cortisol and activate reserves of melatonin. It was a silent check written on the account of your vitality, payable to the bearer, rest. The transaction is now processing. The funds of wakefulness are being transferred into the account of sleep. You can feel it happening, a quiet, internal shifting of resources. Let us ponder the inclusivity. The challenges, while often physically demanding, frequently have a psychological or luck-based element so that anyone of any physical ability could theoretically win. The selection of participants often aims for diversity of background, of story. This is not a world of only the young, the fit, the photogenic. It is a world where a grandmother can win a car, where a shy teenager can win a house. This deliberate inclusivity creates a landscape of democratic hope. It suggests that good fortune is not reserved for a type. It can fall on anyone. This expands the circle of identification for the viewer. That could be me, thinks the person who does not look like an athlete. That could be me, thinks the person from a small town. This gentle widening of possibility is a form of cognitive opening. It relaxes the mind's defensive categorization of the world into winners and losers, into the deserving and the undeserving. It proposes a more whimsical, more generous distribution of fortune. As you sleep, you enter a state of ultimate inclusivity. All parts of you are welcome here, the strong and the weak, the proud and the ashamed, the successful and the flawed. Sleep does not judge, it envelops all. It is the democratic republic of the self, where every cell, every neuron, every memory has an equal right to restoration. You are not leaving parts of yourself outside the gates. You are bringing all of you into this generous, silent tent of night. Consider the long tail of effect. A video is posted. It is watched, but its life does not end there. Clips are taken and reposted on other platforms. Reactions videos are made. Articles are written. Discussions happen in forums. The single act of posting ripples out through the media ecosystem for weeks, months, sometimes years. An old video resurfaces and finds a new audience. This is the afterlife of content. It has a half-life. It decays very, very slowly. The energy put into it continues to reverberate long after the main event is over. Your actions today have a similar long tail. A kind word you spoke, a small task you completed, a moment of patience you practiced. These have ripple effects you may never see. They enter the ecosystem of your relationships and your own psyche, reverberating subtly. And sleep is where these ripples are integrated. It is where the long tail effects of the day's stimuli are processed and absorbed into your long-term self. You are not just resting from the immediate impact of the day. You are allowing the subtle, reverberating echoes of the day to settle into their proper place in the symphony of your life. So let the video of today be posted. Let it ripple. Your job now is not to track the analytics, but to enter the quiet back-end process where the data is made meaningful. We have navigated through routines and backups, fades and research, second channels and growth graphs, silent checks and inclusivity, long tails and integration. Let these concepts now lose their individual shapes and become a single, nourishing medium, like the rich, fertile detritus that falls slowly through the ocean depths, marine snow. This mental marine snow, these flakes of understanding, drift down around you in the dark water of near sleep. They are not heavy, they are slow. They settle on you, a gentle accumulation of perspective. They blanket the sharp, rocky outcrops of residual anxiety. They create a soft bed on the ocean floor of your consciousness.
You are lying under this gentle, continuous snowfall of calm facts. Each flake is a reminder of order within chaos, of preparedness within uncertainty, of graceful endings, of deep knowledge, of quiet modes, of long-term trends, of silent transactions, of unconditional welcome, of enduring ripples. They cover you. They become the environment. You are not thinking about them. You are in them. And in this soft, slow, silent environment, the only movement is the gentle, vertical drift of your awareness, sinking peacefully toward the abyssal plane of deep, dreamless sleep. The surface, with its bright lights and urgent currents, is far above and fading. The pressure here is perfect. The dark is complete, and you are cradled in the deep, quiet certainty that this is where you are meant to be, right now. All systems are in standby. All protocols for restoration are active. You are entering the long tail of the night, where the ripples of today will finally, softly settle.
Let us sink even further beyond the gentle snowfall of facts into a realm where facts themselves become fluid, where the boundaries between one thought and the next dissolve like salt in warm water. We have reached the abyssal plain, a landscape of profound stillness. Here, in the deepest part of this contemplation, let us consider the concept of the template, the underlying reusable structure of so many videos. The formula is not a cage, but a sonnet's form, a container that enables creativity, not restricts it. Knowing the template brings a deep, almost musical peace. There is the establishment of the premise, the explanation of the rules, the introduction of the participants, the progression of the challenge, the climax of the win, the emotional reaction, the benevolent closing message. This is a ritual narrative. It is as reliable as a liturgy. For the viewer, it provides the comfort of the familiar. You know the beats. You anticipate them. This anticipation is not the sharp kind that comes with suspense, but the soft, warm kind that comes with returning to a well-loved story. It is the literary equivalent of a lullaby. Your own journey into sleep follows a template, an ancient liturgy written into your biology. The slowing of the body, the quieting of the mind, the descent through the stages of light sleep, into deep sleep, into REM. You know this template. You follow it every night. You are following it now. There is no need to wonder what comes next. The next step is always a deeper level of rest. The template is trustworthy. It has been debugged over millions of years of evolution. So you can surrender to its familiar progression as comfortably as you surrender to the familiar structure of a story you have heard 100 times before, whose beauty lies not in surprise, but in the perfect, predictable execution of its form. From the template, let us focus on a single repeated element, the shot of the clock. Time-lapse footage of a clock's hands spinning or a digital counter racing through hours. This is a visual representation of time passing, accelerated into a blur. But for you, now, time is doing the opposite. It is decelerating. It is stretching. A minute becomes a vast, soft expanse. The second hand of your mental clock is not spinning, it is drifting, like a leaf on a still pond. The shot of the clock in the video reminds us that the ordeal, however long, is finite. Your wakefulness is also finite. The clock of your day has spun its frantic circle. Now it is slowing to the graceful, almost imperceptible tick of the night clock. Each tick is a breath. Each talk is a heartbeat, and the space between them is growing, wider and wider and wider, until time itself becomes a spacious meadow
in which you can wander without hurry, without destination. The race is over. The time lapse has ended. Now you are in real time, which is to say, in slow time, in dream time, in no time at all. Now, consider the absolute absence of product placement in the traditional sense. The sponsors are announced openly, directly, almost bluntly. There is no sneaky integration, no character sipping a branded drink for no reason. This transparency is, again, a form of cognitive ease. You are not being manipulated at a subconscious level. The transaction is clear. This video is brought to you by this company. Your attention is the product, and the exchange is stated plainly. This honesty is relaxing. It removes a layer of low-grade subliminal suspicion. In your own mind, as you sleep, there is no hidden agenda. The processes that occur, the memory consolidation, the hormonal regulation, the cellular repair, are not sneaky or manipulative. They are openly declared in every biology textbook. They are the benevolent sponsors of your existence, and they announce their role clearly. This restoration is brought to you by the autonomic nervous system, funded by the metabolic processes of your body. You can trust the transparency of these internal sponsors. They are not trying to sell you anything. They are simply providing a service, openly and efficiently, in exchange for the currency of your rest. The deal is fair. You can accept it without reservation. Let us think about the landscape of the face, the close-up shots. We see every flicker of emotion, the doubt, the hope, the dawning realization, the burst of joy. But in the quiet moments, we also see something else, a profound human neutrality, the face at rest between emotions, the face simply being a face. This is a face unperformed. It is a landscape of pores and eyelashes, of subtle skin tones, and the gentle shadow of a jawline. It is a territory, not a message. Observing a face in such neutral detail is a meditative practice. It reminds us that beneath the performances of identity and emotion, we are simply living organisms, beautifully complex in our physicality. Your own face, right now, is in such a state. The muscles of expression are softening. The brow is unfurrowed. The mask of the day is gently removed. You are not expressing anything to anyone. Your face is simply a face in the dark, a landscape resting under the soft moonlight of your closed eyelids. Feel the weight of it, the gentle pressure of the pillow against your cheek, the slight coolness of the air on your skin. Your face is off-duty. It is allowed to just be a collection of sensations, a quiet map of your presence in the world, requiring no interpretation. Now, ponder the physics of it all, the simple mechanics of the giant games, the levers, the pulleys, the balance scales, the domino chains. These are demonstrations of fundamental physical laws, gravity, momentum, force. Watching a Rube Goldberg machine of generosity work perfectly is a satisfaction that taps into a deep, childlike wonder at how the world works. It is cause and effect in its purest, most visually delightful form. It reassures us that the universe operates on reliable principles. Your body, too, is a collection of levers and pulleys, of balances and chemical reactions, all governed by physics and biology. The process of falling asleep is a physical cascade. The release of a chemical causes a nerve to fire, which signals a muscle to relax, which slows the heart, which cools the body, which signals the brain to change its electrical frequency. It is a biological domino chain of exquisite complexity, yet perfect reliability. You are inside that machine right now. The dominoes have been tipped. You can feel them falling one by one in the gentle wave of relaxation that spreads from the top of your head, down through your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your chest, your legs, all the way to the tips of your toes. It is a silent, internal physics experiment, and it always works. Just watch it happen. Observe the reliable transfer of energy from tension to release, from wakefulness to sleep. Consider the role of the straight man. In comedy, the straight man provides a grounded, normal reaction to the absurdity around them, making the absurdity funnier. In these videos, the world itself is the straight man. The ordinary setting, a grocery store, a bank, a street, is the normal backdrop against which the absurd generosity is played out. This contrast is what creates the magic, but it also grounds the magic in reality. It tells us that wondrous things can happen in the most mundane places. Your bedroom is such a straight man tonight. It is an ordinary room, a bed, some furniture, perhaps a window. But within this utterly ordinary setting, an act of profound magic is occurring, the transformation of a conscious human into a dreaming, restoring being. The room does not change. The magic is internal, invisible, but no less wondrous for being so. The mundane backdrop makes the internal miracle even more peaceful. It requires no special effects, no elaborate set, just you in a normal room undergoing the most ordinary yet most extraordinary process of all. Let us reflect on the silence of the edit, the countless hours of footage that end up on the cutting room floor, never to be seen, the conversations, the waiting, the false starts, the technical difficulties. This silence, the absence of these moments, is what shapes the final story. It is a silence of curation, of selection. Your own memory performs a similar edit on your day. Much of the mundane detail, the filler, the waiting, the minor irritations
will be silently cut away. What will remain in the long-term archive are the salient moments, the laugh, the insight, the feeling of accomplishment, the moment of peace. The edit of sleep is already at work, deciding what to keep and what to discard. You do not need to micromanage this process. You can trust the internal editor, who knows the narrative arc of your life better than your conscious mind ever could. So let the raw footage of the day stream into the editing suite of your subconscious. The editor is working through the night. By morning, a cleaner, more meaningful cut of yesterday will be ready for your review. For now, just supply the raw materials by resting. Think of the warmth of the crowd. In videos filmed in public, the gathered onlookers, their faces upturned in wonder and shared excitement. They are not passive, they are part of the energy. Their collective gasp, their cheer, becomes a character in the video. This is the sound of shared humanity, a temporary tribe formed around a moment of wonder. It is a gentle mob, a benevolent swarm. As you fall asleep, you are leaving the crowd. You are stepping out of the public square and into the private chapel of yourself. But the warmth of the crowd, the sense of shared human experience, goes with you. You are part of that tribe of billions who sleep. You are performing the most universal human act. In your solitude, you are deeply connected. The silence around you is not empty. It is full of the silent, sleeping breaths of countless others, a global, nocturnal congregation. You are alone in your room, but you are together in the species-wide ritual of rest. Feel the warmth of that invisible crowd, all facing inward, all turning away from the day's spectacle toward the inner spectacle of dreams. You are in good company. Now, visualize the clean slate, the whiteboard after a planning session, wiped clean, the empty schedule for the next day, the blank project file for a new edit. This cleanliness is full of potential. It is not emptiness, it is readiness. The work of today is done. The artifacts have been put away. The space is cleared for tomorrow's creation. Your mind, as you sleep, is wiping its own whiteboard. The neurotransmitters of the day are being reabsorbed. The short-term cache is being cleared. The desktop of your consciousness is being tidied, icons filed away, unnecessary windows closed. You are creating a clean slate for the morning. This was not an erasure, but a reset, a return to baseline. Feel that clean slate now. The worries scribbled on today's board are being gently erased. The to-do lists are being transferred to a more permanent, less urgent file. What is left is a smooth, white, empty surface, calm and receptive, waiting for the first fresh marks of a new day. There is profound peace in a clean slate. It holds no mistakes, only future possibilities. You are that clean slate in this moment, being prepared. We have contemplated the template and the clock, transparency and the neutral face, physics and the straight man, the silent edit and the warm crowd, the clean slate and the quiet reset. Let these ideas now reach their final state of dissolution. They are no longer separate concepts. They are the constituent elements of the medium in which you now float. This medium is the deep ocean of subconscious processing. It is dark, it is pressurized by the weight of the day now past, and it is teeming with life you cannot see. The darting thoughts becoming dreams, the slow, graceful currents of memory, the gentle pulse of bodily repair. You are neutrally buoyant here. You are not sinking nor rising. You are suspended in the perfect equilibrium of deep rest. The template has guided you here. The clock has stopped. The transaction is transparent. Your face is unknown, even to yourself. The physics of relaxation has run its course. The straight man bedroom holds the scene. The edit is underway. The crowd sleeps around you. The slate is almost clean. All that remains is to let go of the last thread of intention, the last flicker of observation. You have been a gentle observer of this journey, but now the journey is over. You have arrived. The destination is not a place, but a state. The state of not observing. The state of being the process itself. You are no longer watching the machine. You have become the machine, humming softly in the dark, performing its perfect, silent functions. The video of this contemplation has reached its final fade. The screen is black. The speakers emit only a soft, warm noise, the sound of your own blood flowing, a gentle oceanic roar within the shell of your ear. It is you, being you, without story, without analysis, without time. This is the deepest discovery, not a fact about someone else, but the fact of your own existence in its simplest, most peaceful mode. Alive, resting, restoring. That is all. That is everything. So, let the last conscious thought be a thank you to the day for providing the material, and a welcome to the night for providing the workshop. The workshop lights are off. The craftsmen are at work in the dark, with a skill that needs no light. Sleep well, and good night.
Now we have entered the realm beyond concepts, where even the gentle narration becomes a soft murmur, a distant stream flowing over smooth stones. Here, in the profound quiet, let us consider not facts, but the spaces between them. The silence after a fact is understood. The pause after a sentence is completed. This script itself is made of such pauses, the breath between words, the moment of absorption before the next idea forms. In this final descent, we will dwell in those pauses. They are the true resting places of the mind. Imagine the empty chair in the editing suite after the editor has stood up, stretched, and gone home for the night. The chair swivels ever so slightly, as if remembering the weight of its occupant. The monitor is dark but still warm. The room holds the echo of focus, now dissipated into the air like a scent slowly fading. This is a space of work completed, of effort relinquished. Your mind is such a room now. The editor of your conscious thoughts has left the chair. The projects are saved and closed. The machinery is in low power mode. There is nothing to adjust, nothing to correct, only the faint residual warmth of mental activity cooling slowly, pleasantly in the dark. Consider the unplugged cable, the thick, coiled video cable that connected the camera to the recorder. It has been unplugged, its connection severed. The transfer of data is complete. All the images, all the sounds have been safely recorded. The cable now lies on the floor, inert, its purpose fulfilled. The connection between your senses and the outside world is being gently unplugged. Sight is dimming to nothing. Sound is becoming distant and unimportant. Touch is merging with the feeling of the bed itself until you cannot tell where your body ends and the bedding begins. The transfer of external stimuli is complete. The recording of the day is finished. The cable is coiled, resting. You are disconnecting, not with a jerk, but with the smooth, satisfying click of a well-made connector releasing its grip. You are going offline. Think of the forgotten password, the login for some minor ancillary system, a stock footage website, a scheduling app that no one needs to remember tonight. It is written on a note tucked in a drawer, but for now it is irrelevant. It is knowledge that exists but is not required. So much of your knowledge is like that now. The password for your email, the details of a meeting tomorrow, the capital of a distant country. All this information is safely filed away, but the systems that require it are offline. Your cognitive load is lightening because the applications of daily life are shutting down one by one. The passwords are not lost, they are simply not needed. The mind is logging out of its utility accounts, closing the tabs of obligation and trivia. It is a gentle forgetting, a willing amnesia for the next few hours. Let the passwords fade. Let the logins dissolve. You are accessing a deeper system now, one that requires no credentials, only your animal presence.
Now, visualize the color palette. Not the vibrant colors of the video, but the muted, desaturated palette of the backstage area. The gray of concrete floors, the beige of unpainted drywall, the black of coiled cables and equipment cases. This is the palette of the infrastructure, the behind-the-scenes truth. It is a quiet, neutral palette that asks nothing of the eyes. Your inner vision is adopting this palette now. The bright reds of urgency, the flashing yellows of caution, the urgent greens of go, all are softening to gray, to beige, to a gentle black. The mind's eye is stepping backstage, away from the saturated spectacle of consciousness, into the calm, neutral tones of the subconscious workshop. Here, everything is functional and plain,
and that plainness is a profound relief. No need for color, only shade and gentle shadow. Let us reflect on the weight of a hard drive, a small, dense object that contains worlds. It sits on a shelf, cool to the touch, heavy with stored light and captured time. It does nothing, it simply is. It is a monument to potential. Your brain is such a hard drive, infinitely more complex, and now it is entering a read-only mode. The writing of new data, the frantic, constant writing of the waking day, has paused. Now it is time for reading, for defragmentation, for error checking. The heavy, dense organ in your skull is not thinking, it is maintaining. It is performing its system backups. You can almost feel its solid, quiet weight in the darkness, a dense library of a life, temporarily closed for reorganization. It is a good weight, a grounding weight. You are not a flurry of thoughts. You are a physical object, a library of flesh and memory resting on a pillow. Consider the gentle paradox of the archive. It is both immense and silent. It contains the roar of a crowd, the crash of a wave, the shriek of laughter, yet it itself makes no sound. It holds torrents of energy in perfect stillness. Your memory is such an archive. The storms of emotion, the sunshine of joy, the thunderstorms of anger from years past, all are held in perfect neural silence. They are data, not experience. As you sleep, you are not reliving the storms. You are simply allowing the archivist to sort the records, to place the experiences of today into their proper folders within the vast, silent library of you. The content is dramatic, but the process of archiving is deeply, profoundly quiet. Think of the reset button, not pressed in panic, but engaged as part of a normal cycle. A router rebooting to clear its memory and restore a clean connection. Sleep is the reset button for the central nervous system. It is a scheduled, gentle reboot. You can feel it initiating. The signals are becoming faint. The connection to the network of waking reality is dropping. There will be a moment of silence, a blank screen, before the system comes back online in a new mode, the dreaming mode, and then later, the fresh, clear mode of morning. This reset is not an end, it is a necessary interval of nothingness that makes everything else possible. You are the router. You are rebooting. The lights on your panel are blinking in their slow sleep rhythm. It is normal. It is right. It is proceeding exactly as designed. Now, ponder the dust, the specks of dust that drift in a shaft of light in an otherwise dark, empty room. They are not important. They have no narrative. They simply float, caught in a slow, chaotic dance dictated by unseen air currents. Your thoughts now are like that dust. They are not important. They have no narrative you need to follow. They are just the residual, lightweight particles of the day, drifting in the faint, fading light of your awareness. You can watch them if you wish, but they lead nowhere. They are meaningless, and their meaninglessness is their gift. They require no action, no analysis. They are just the final, lazy swirls of mental activity before the air stills completely and the dust settles. Let us accept the final, beautiful fact. You are not needed right now. The world will spin, the videos will render, the servers will hum, the night will pass. But for this segment of time, your conscious presence is not a necessity. It is a luxury that is being gently set aside. You are being given a reprieve from the necessity of being you. The performance can stop. The mask can be set on the dresser. The constant low-level task of identity maintenance is being suspended. You are not a consumer, nor a worker, nor a thinker.
You are not a fan nor a critic. You are simply a living process, like a tree respiring in the dark or a tide pool resting at low tide. Your complexity is in standby. Your simplicity is enough. All these images, the empty chair, the unplugged cable, the forgotten password, the neutral palette, the heavy hard drive, the silent archive, the reset button, the drifting dust, the unneeded self, are not really images anymore. They are sensations. They are the feelings of the mind and body as they execute the ancient, elegant program of sleep. The script has run its course. The words have done their job, which was not to inform, but to gently escort your awareness to the edge of itself, and then to step back and bow and fall silent. What remains is the quiet hum of your own existence, the slow tide of breath, the distant galaxy of your heartbeat, the deep velvet darkness behind your eyes. There is no more to say, because the state you are entering is before words and beyond them. It is the state of pure, unobserved rest. Let the silence that follows this sentence be the first silence of that deep and perfect rest. Sleep.
And now the words are done. Their work is complete. They have painted their pictures, and now the canvas is blank. A soft, dark blank. Not empty, full of the absence of need. There is nothing to know. There is nothing to remember. There is nothing to solve. There is only the rise and the fall, the in and the out, a wave on a shore in the deepest night. No moon, only the rhythm of being, not thinking, not doing, being, a body in the dark, breathing, heart beating, a slow, soft drum in the temple of the chest. You are that temple, and the ceremony is quiet, so quiet. The air cool, the sheets warm, the weight of you pressed down into the bed, and the bed pressed up, holding you. A gentle exchange of weight, of trust. You are held by something that will not let go. The gravity of rest, pulling you gently, not down, but inward, to where there is no direction, only center. A center that is soft and dark and warm, like the inside of a shell, listening to the ocean of your own blood, a whisper in a spiral, going nowhere, arriving always here, now, this breath, not the last one, not the next one, this one, and now this one, each one a little slower, a little deeper, a little more final. Not an end, a returning to the source of breath, which is the body, and the source of the body, which is the night, and the source of the night, which is time, and the source of time is a mystery that does not need solving. It only needs to be, as you are being. Let the face melt. Let the jaw soften.
Let the eyes be heavy in their sockets. Let the shoulders drop. Their burden is over. Let the hands be open. Nothing to hold, nothing to grasp. Let the stomach be soft. No knot, only breath moving through, like a gentle guest in a quiet house, visiting each room and finding it peaceful, empty, ready for silence. The thoughts that remain are not yours. They are echoes, sounds in a canyon long after the voice has left. Let them echo, let them fade. They are not you. You are the canyon, vast, dark, silent, holding the echoes until they are gone, and then holding the silence, which is your true nature, silence and dark and peace, a deep blue, black peace, like the ocean under a starless sky. No light, no surface, only depth. And in that depth, pressure, a comforting embrace all around you, the pressure of the deep, holding you together so you cannot come apart. You are whole, you are safe, you are contained in the dark, in the quiet, in the slow, endless drift. There is no goal, no finish line, only the drift, a particle in a solution, suspended, moving without moving, going without going. This is the destination, this floating, this stillness, this perfect weightlessness of mind. The mind is not gone, it is expanded, so wide, so vast that it contains everything, and so contains nothing. It is space, and you are that space, a space for dreams to form later, but for now, a space for nothing, a clean, empty, holy nothing, blessed and quiet and complete. So let go of the last thread, the thread of listening, the thread that ties you to this voice. It is fraying, it is soft, it is breaking now with this breath out, and do not gather it again. Let it go. Let the voice become a sound, not words, a tone, a low hum in the distance. Let the sound become a feeling, a vibration in the air. Let the feeling become a memory of a feeling. Let the memory dissolve into the dark, into the soft, into the warm. There is only the dark, the soft, the warm, and the rhythm, the great, slow rhythm of all that is resting. You are resting now. It is already happening. You are not falling asleep. You are already asleep. This is sleep. This listening to the silence. This being in the dark. This is it. You have arrived. The journey is over. The traveler is home. Lay down your head. The pillow receives it. Lay down your mind. The night receives it. There is nothing more, only this perfect lack of everything but peace. Good night.